Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Valorant Game Changers APAC Open 4 playoff stage. I'm Zach, and with me here is Matt, and we are heading into our second best of three for the day, which is going to be Thirst Threads versus Sovereign. Fun fact: both of these teams, this is the first time that they are making it to the playoff stage, so I'm definitely excited to see what kind of gameplay we have in store because this is a first for both these teams. So,
Yeah.
Matt, how are you feeling?
Just as stoked as I am for the first series as I am for this one, but the story here is so much different compared to the first one, where we had the David and Goliath story, a classic one in the first series. We have a tale of two underdogs here, so to speak. We have Sovereign from MYSG and Thirst Thread from MYSG as well. Both of these teams, have you mentioned, have always fallen short of playoffs, and this is their first time getting here. Sovereign, especially, they've been trying to get into the playoffs for about 2 years now. They finally gotten in, only to be met by Thirst Red. And Thirst Red, well, it's this team is no joke. But let's talk a little bit about Sovereign first. Their lineup about to be showing up right now. When these set of girls have just been performing this open with lucidity, of course. One of the people to watch out for, explosive Neon on Fracture.
Yeah, and that is going to be great because I think spoiler, Fracture is gonna be one of those maps we're seeing first. But
Mm.
before we head into map select, I think that Sovereign is a team that has been consistently getting so close to making it to these playoffs, but just falling a bit short. Like in group stages, they're not the team that gets 3-0 or 4-0. They're the team that makes it really close and loses off of things as small as round differentials. But this time they're finally here, and like they said themselves, better late than never. But let's talk
Mm.
about the other team we have, which is going to be Thirst Reds. So again, while this is their first time making it to these playoffs, the way they made it this time in Open Four is nothing short of, like you mentioned, a David
Mm.
and Goliath story. Because
Yeah.
everybody was pretty confident that in their group it was going to be X and Crit who are going to make it out, but it's going to be Thirst Reds instead with a perfect record going through into this playoffs here. And again, when you look at this team in particular, you have to talk about their player Ratatouille here. Like I always, whenever I read her name, I think of Ratatouille. But either way, she is going to be one of the most insane players to watch out for because when she gets on that duelist, or she's like, she reminds me of Inari, honestly. So I think definitely she is going to be one of those players to watch out for. But on the other hand, if you are going to be looking at the map picks for today, it's quite interesting, I would say.
Yeah, the first one, we're going into Fracture. And I said it earlier as well. Sovereign's got a particularly interesting lineup for Fracture because it's a lineup that we don't really see a lot of. It's a double duelist with a Neon and the Reina. And this is the type of composition that they used against in against their opponents in the group stage. They faced off against Extend Crit as well in the last open. Of course, well, that was Extend Crit, so it wasn't an easy feat to fight, and they fell short against Extend Crit. This time, though, they finally have made it into playoffs, as we mentioned, hoping to have a better shot at the finals, only to be met by the team that took out Extend Crit in the group stage. The next map is going to be Breeze, and the third map, should we go into it, is Icebox, and it's a refreshing set of maps we have here, Zach.
Definitely, we almost never see Breeze and Fracture coming in. It's always the same around. You usually see these maps get insta banned, but I'm really happy that we are gonna be seeing these maps here today. And when you look at the picks, it is going to be like you mentioned, Thirst Thread starting off on Fracture, and you need to consider that this is the map where I think that they did manage to beat Extent Crit to make it into this playoff stage. So definitely something that they're feeling super confident on. Breeze is also a map which they've played quite a bit, and they do have a lot of experience playing it. They do have I think they have an 80% win rate or so if you look at every single map of Breeze they've
Mm.
played so far. So definitely a map that they are good on, which is an interesting pick coming in from the side of Team Sovereign here because Breeze is also one of their better maps. They have beaten several teams on it before, especially in the knockout stage. They took out Fuma Gaming, who is in position in the top 10, I believe, to make it here. And after beating them and making their way onto this decider match through to this playoff stage, definitely they are a team to watch out for. They also do have a double duelist comp like you mentioned, so definitely Neon and Reina. If they do pull out the stops all again, I'm definitely interested to watch it.
Well, the agent select is ready for as us going into Fracture, and I'd like that to mention that Fracture is one of the maps that Thirst Threads actually beat Extant Crit. But this is you can absolutely see with the game in the group stage just how confident Sovereign is into this map, which is why it really makes a lot of sense for them to pick this one up. Playing to their strengths as opposed to the enemy's weakness is, of course, always a pretty good idea, but man, this is gonna be a tough matchup for them for sure because Thirst Reds are no slouches when it comes to Fracture. They've also figured out their um go-to comp going into this, and it seems like they like going for this comp where they have very little info to work with. Sure, they have a chamber on that trademark, a lot of defense with the Sage being there, and a lot of util on the Raze into the Breach
Choose your
combo,
agent.
but they don't have any uh info gathering initiator, even a sentinel for that matter. They've got the trademark only for info basically.
Yeah, it's gonna make things a bit rough. But the bright side is, on a map like Fracture, you really, really do want to be super aggressive going
Hmm.
in. Even if you're on defense, you want to try and take control of the sides that are relatively clear. Like ideally, for example, push out from Arcade towards the other side of spawn, or vice versa. So you do want to be having that aggression coming in. So even if they do only have that trademark for information, they can always take control of the other side with the players, which is a strategy that both these teams seem to be going in so far with these rather aggressive team compositions. So if I'm not wrong, it is going to be Team Sovereign who is going to be starting off on attack here, and definitely I think that their team comp is rather favorable for that,
Yeah.
and it's exactly what they want to try to capitalize on. I love that the Breach, which got so little love in the last few patches after
Hmm.
Fracture came out, has gotten so much more attention, not just on Fracture but across other maps, because once people started using how Breach utility is so good on Fracture, they started running it across other maps as well. So now you're likely to see a Breach on Haven and even Ascent. So it's definitely like a pleasure to watch here. And I'm pretty excited for how this is going to shape up, because Fracture is one of those maps which usually gets insta-banned, like I mentioned. So let's see how these teams perform.
Yeah, what I like here for Sovereign setup though is typically you would see a lot of this utility being available just to be in conjunction with the amount of angles you have to clear in this map, right? I mean, and that's why Raze is so used or so efficient in this map. But that's the thing, in Fracture, Sovereign, despite finding a lot of success in this map, they don't even use a standard comp. They have a double duelist, yes, on the Neon for that, of course, utility on a duelist, but they couple it up not with a Raze but with a Reina. I mean, that's not something you see every day at all. But we did see in the last series just how much real estate Arena can make, provided, of course, that she pops off. So perhaps that is the key here for Sovereign. Perhaps that's how they found a lot of success on this Fracture. But in that regard, in the util front, I would argue that Thirst Red has so much more that what Sovereign has pales in comparison compared to them, because they got a double initiator, or rather, not a double initiator, a double sentinel and a viper to couple that with. So that's so much already in terms of defense, and they've got a raise as well for that extra bit of utility dump.
Definitely. And I really like Raze on this map, because along with the Breach, with the Aftershock, and with the Paint Chills, you can basically clear off half the site. You don't have to really
Yeah.
waste time checking those corners, and it might make all the difference here when you are trying to go on attack. So definitely, I'm looking forward to how they're going to be using these utilities in conjunction, because Fracture is a map where singular hero plays, while they're there, they're not exactly the norm. You have to work as a team and coordinate, and unless you do that, you're going to be taken down by somebody holding an angle, because there are so many angles for you to clear and so much ground you have to try and cover. It's really difficult if you don't have that chemistry and that synergy as a team. So I think that what it's going to come down to, apart from both of these agent comp, it's going to be which of these teams has the better synergy here. And another thing that I noticed that I'm really interested in is the pick of the controllers. So while we do see Dumpling going in for that Brimstone, it's going to
Mhm.
be Ray on the Astra instead. And look at the stack. 5
Oh,
players already towards here. No control anywhere else on the map. And it's going to be 3 players on this A side as well. It's going to be a quick rotation coming through. Lucidity making sure that nobody else is here. They're just going to be cutting noise for a bit. And look at the position of the Rays here. Ratato's already all the way in this corner, taking down Elaine. 10 HP left, but she's still alive, so that's still a weapon on board. 2 players already down for the side of Sovereign. Things not looking very good, I would say, for them.
oh, getting pushed up from, well, A main that is. Nobody falling yet as well for Thirst. And just opening up with a lot of aggression here after Glow. Not gonna let Chet survive that encounter, but she's gonna get traded out by Ray Ray right now. So 4 versus 2. And Sovereign, they're getting pummeled from all directions here. Perhaps they can still rotate down into B side where the path is so clear for them. Not anymore with Shabby picking up Ray. Joey gonna make a lot more noise, but she doesn't have that Devour anymore. And just everyone watching where she's going to come from. It's an absolute death squad right here. And all it
Oh.
takes is one bullet from the Frenzy. Ratatouilles is going to be securing that first round for Thirst Reds.
Ratatouille has, like you
Ratatouilles.
mentioned, Matt, one of the star duelists for this team, and
Oh yeah.
definitely she's proving her mettle there because even though she only has 10 HP, she is not afraid to repeat. To be fair, Wavy did manage to get her topped up a little bit, but nevertheless, it's the aggression coming in from the side of Thirst Reds was really, really beautiful towards that B side there. A side, they're definitely doing a lot of work. It seems like the side of Sovereign, they are not going to go in for a force because they did not get that plant after all. And this time they're opting for a more pronged attack here, trying to see if they can get a pick somewhere. The aggression already coming in from Ratatouille is going to is going to do a little bit of damage and also push these players off of that angle here. Meanwhile, Ray, she's going to be working her way towards B main here, seeing if she can get a little bit of control. But nobody's going to be pushing in from the side of Thirst here. They quenched their bloodthirst for now. Let's say that after the heroics of last round going in. So yep, it seems like they are in fact going in for a commit on that B side. But the spike, I think they forgot the spike.
Perhaps they're just making a little bit of noise here on both angles. Not really giving information on where they actually want to hit, but that A main push has already been discarded off. Shabby has got a pretty good idea now that B is where the hit is going to be happening, especially with the util dump now coming in from these members from Thirst Reds. Oh, Dumpling's the only one here though. Is she gonna be able to mow them all down with Wee Wee? The answer is yes, they do. It's a flawless round to come in from Thirst Reds.
I think that was a bloodbath there as they ran into the brimstone and the sage, just
Yeah.
caught in the crossfire so awkwardly. Not much they could do there. Either way, though, that was the upgraded round for the side of Thirst Red. So you know, even if it wasn't flawless, this is gonna be the round where Sovereign has to prove their mettle. They will have those rifles, which you know that extended firepower might be what they need to try and win this round. So far, it seems like they want to go towards the B side yet again. I think they are banking on the fact that there are only 2 players usually playing there. It is going to be the brimstone on the stage that they have to somehow circumvent. And Joy, she's approaching this extremely methodically. She
Yeah.
will hear the wall come up from the barrier orb, buying a little bit of time, buying a bit of information as well that there's at least 2 players towards this arcade area here.
Pushing up from both sides down in B. It's a very different approach that they've used in the past couple of rounds. But does make a lot of sense because they have invested everything in this round, everything to lose for Sovereign.
Launching smoke.
Choosing to fight in these standard angles instead, it makes a lot of sense. But they should really execute soon because everyone's already rotating in from Thirst Red. Shabby's already picked up Lucidity and they've yet to inch forward. Finally, they take control of site. Sovereign gonna go for the plant now, but it's coming in the hands of Dumpling. And Che pushing up against Tower. 4 versus 5 now. Can SVR hold the line here on a 4 versus 5? It seems like the answer so far is a no. Ray gets a singular response. Dumplings 3k now. Check coming in from behind.
Oh.
1 versus 4. And Thirst Reds, they pick up round number 3. Sovereign, this is not good luck for them.
That was quite a round coming in from Thirst Red there because you know again like you'd expect them to be at a disadvantage, but they played that so perfectly. The double peaks, the kills coming in, and of course being able to eventually pick up those upgrades. I felt kind of bad for poor Che2 there, left to low 30 HP, having to try and prevent the spike from going down, but it was just so fast, and I think that Sovereign was not ready for that relatively quick retake coming in from the side of their Shreds. They just couldn't do anything against
Yeah.
the Spectres in that close range coming at them, and that is going to push them into an eco right now. They do have that Spectre on Lucidity. We've seen her before have like huge
Oh,
influx, but oh, that
okay.
one tap from Shabby onto Ray 2. That's a delete if I ever saw one. That's going to be any kind of lurk lost already on the side of B here. Meanwhile, towards the A side, Ratatouille is going to take down Lucidity as well. That's a Spectre down, and now it's just pistols and a little bit of Petisum left to try and make this stuff happen. It seems like Sovereign is looking really rough on this round. They do only have those sheriffs, no ultimates to work with either. So I don't know. It seems a bit of a rough ass for them to try and win this round.
And they're just looking for as much damage as they could possibly garner up. Nobody's picked up any upgrades at all. And there's Reds looking for their third thrifty, or third, or rather, second flawless round of the game. Chet hoping to isolate anyone, but nobody's speaking up from that tower angle that she's been looking at for so long. Now they finally put the util dump down. The headshot 2 come in. Chet and the lane pick up one apiece. And the lane picks up a second now. That's still yet to come in. The sheriff's just not going to be enough against Shabby. Who again goes huge for the 3k, and there's Reds 4 rounds so clean.
Clean is the word, and so far they seem to be absolutely dominating on this map. 4-0 is the line here, and again, it's going to be a full buy coming in for the side of Sovereign. They do, however, also have some ultimates to work with, and I think that we are going to be heading into a short timeout as they try and figure out how exactly they can capitalize on the resources they have heading into this round. Now, think about it. They have the Cosmic Divide, and they also have Elaine's Rolling Thunder, both of which can be pivotal in being able to get the spike down very, very quickly and very, very efficiently, especially if you're attacking, let's say, the B side. You are going to be able to cut off multiple angles with that Astral Wall, and it's going to be just utility that comes through it. It's not going to be any kind of gunshot. That's going to cover you from all those angles. And also, if you also have the Rolling Thunder, you can either use it to get, tummel people on the site, or you can use it when people are trying, when the opposition is trying to retake it. So either way, these are two pivotal ults, and if they are used properly, I think that this might be exactly what Sovereign needs to win their first round, and that is probably what they're planning in their little timeout here.
Perhaps. We'll have to wait and see, because so far the executes for them haven't been really the most effective. I mean, the first time they've had the full buy, they took a little bit more time than they had to get into sight, which is why by the time they were in it, all the members of Thirst Reds were already here, or already with them for the retake, that they weren't able to get themselves in position now through the force activated by Shabby. Dumpling hoping to keep the line here against all of this utility getting pumped against her. Cosmic Divide goes down, and they take control of B side off of that. They didn't even have to invest that Rolling Thunder, and they made it so efficient, but still one member coming in from Arcade. Dumplings just manages to survive, finds a sliver to hide in, but there's a lineup coming in. Okay, Rolling Thunder comes in just to try and stop them from getting into sight now. Sovereign still 5-man strong, about to press the issue, about to hold the line here against Ratatouille's. She picks up Ray, making the noise now in B main, but gonna get held off by the aftershock for now. Chet picks up Afterglow. 4 versus 4 now. Shabby finally gets a tour de force shot in, and Ratatouille's to make it a little bit easier for Dumpling to get that kill. Now it's all down to Joey, but she's getting pummeled by all of these ults, and now she's gonna fall down in the hands of Dumpling. That's the 5th round going the way of Thirst Reds.
That was so close to that wall from Weeby there. That honestly possibly won them the round, because if she hadn't put it while crossing over, Chetu might have been Joey might have been able to get that kill onto her, and there might have not been enough time to defuse here. But really, really well played by both these teams. A heavy comment of ults coming in from both sides, because there was the tour de force, there was the Brimstone Orbital Strike, and Joey, well, she had to just miss out of their hand into the ready waiting arms of Dumpling. struggling there. A really good round from both these teams, but ultimately it is going to be Thirst Shreds who take it away. And yet again, there's gonna be enough money for a buy for the side of Sovereign now. And Elaine, she tries to get a pick towards Dish here. We'll spot out two players. We'll hear the boombot coming towards her as well. But meantime, look at Lucidity. She's just walking a B, taking a page from the book of ACO from last game. You know, if running doesn't work, walking might, and it might indeed help if she doesn't get timing here. Really, really awkward spot,
Oh,
and oh, she watches the wrong thing at the wrong time, and that's gonna be Weeby getting the first pick for the side of Thirst Shreds. We're looking incredibly strong on this defense here. There is just no gap for Sovereign to exploit. And it seems like yet again the shroud might possibly go in the favor of Thirst Shreds as they get yet another pick. Afterglow though will be the kill coming down, and this back and forth cat and mouse between Che2 and
no!
Ratatouille is gonna
What?
finally be resolved by her getting that kill.
What? Ratatouille's got the whiff up. She didn't get the full spray control, but still she won that duel. Oh my, what is happening right now? Sovereign, the cracks are showing in their mental, and
30 seconds left.
they have to get themselves together. Sure, they've got the loss forgiveness this round, but can't say the same for the next one. And Joey should just save up this Vandal, because really it's the only bit of tool that they have, the only gun that they will have going into the next round if she doesn't die, but she does. And Thirst Reds, you said it yourself here, Zach. Unpenetrable fortresses on both sides. And Sovereign just can't seem to find the cracks in their armor. I mean, it seems like there are none.
It indeed seems that way because they just can't get a entry anywhere. They are really struggling. I would say, to be fair, this is their strengths pick. It's clear that they've put in a lot of work on the map. Definitely deserving massive amounts of commendation here. But you know, the struggle is real. That's the only phrase I can think of, especially considering that it's going to be an eco right now. There is, however, that tour de force coming in from the chamber here. Che2 might be able to make the difference if she can get a pick or two with that tour de force. It might be rifles drop for the team, but so far the side of TST, they're going to be playing this really cautiously. It's going to be Shabi who misses the shot but is able to TP out quickly enough. But the point is, there's still Ratatouille that Che2 has to get through. Even if they think that, okay, the operator is off the angle, we can, you know, go forward, they still have to try and clear this out. The thing is that this player has already played here once, but they still don't clear it. So Che2, that's the tour de force offline. Ratatouille will fall off the angle as well, and things are looking extremely dire with only 1 minute left on the clock for the side of Team Sovereign. But that's the Neon ultimate here. Oh, gets one.
At least they take care of Afterglow off of that play. But there's still one member coming in from behind. Ratatouille has got the ult up and running, but Joey, is she going to be exploded by that? No, they won't even need to use the Raze ult to secure that round. Oh, that was so anticlimactic, I'd have to say. Lucidity, when she activated that laser finger of death, as I like to call it, Neon. You would expect big things, but nope, she just got shut down. And that's another round for the books for Thirst Reds. And Sovereign, well, really have to dig deep here. They're the ones who I believe... oh, they're not the ones who picked this map, right? It was Thirst Reds, but still, they looked so good the last time we saw them in Fracture, but now they're just cracking so much under the pressure. The Thirst Reds are just... Okay, off shots not really connecting, but thankfully Dumpling does. 2 headshots for 2 kills. Well, the entry is now gone, and the spike is in the open, so again, Sovereign scrambling for control.
However, this time it's going to be a 3v5 yet again. The disadvantage is absolutely massive, and you know, oh, the aggression coming in. It's going to be Ratatouille still, who catches one, catches 2. The flick onto Che2's head. That's going to be just Ray left all alone, and the spike dropped as well. Tries to gets one, but Dumpling is there for the trade. And while it's not a flawless, it's pretty darn close because that's going to be round number 8 for Thirst Shreds here. 8-0. Things are looking pretty dire, I would say, for the side of Team Sovereign here. Struggling, I would say, on the attack of all things to even get some kind of control.
Yeah.
They are just not aware of the timings and the positions here. It's pretty unfortunate to see, but you know, even if there's still hope. Like even if they can get these remaining 4 rounds and they have a strong defense, which you know the agents they're running, if they can play aggressively, they might have a shot here. You never say never. That's a lesson here.
Here's the thing, Zach. There's a possibility of them coming back, yes, but is there still hope? I mean, at this point, you have to question what it's like to be in the comms of Sovereign right now. What it's like for the mental of their players, because, oh, you gotta remember, they've been having a spectacular run up until this point where they're just getting curb stomped by Thirst Reds. Really, they've been trying their darndest, but Thirst Reds has been stopping
Spike
them at their
planted.
tracks so consistently, not even giving them any bit of breathing room. I mean, yes, they get the plant off this round, but with sheriffs, they can't even make it work with so much investments on the ults earlier. Yes, they have the cosmic divide, but I doubt they're gonna be committing that anytime soon, especially with Joey falling down like that. Ray emerges from
Oh,
that
no!
smoke, but Ratatouille goes massive with that showstopper.
Oh,
And it's another flawless round in the books for this Reds.
Flawless.
that was two ults getting 3 kills between them. The orbital strike taking down poor Joey, and of course the showstopper getting the remaining 2. Their Shreds looking absolutely bloodthirsty here. I think they should rename themselves at this point. Bloodthirsty Reds would be a better thing, and you know maybe that's why they have the red in the name from her, because of all the blood they're spilling here. Especially Ratatouille on that race. Man, is she
Showstopper.
having the game of her
Oh.
life here. Absolutely popping off 17-3. What kind of a KDA is that? That's
17-3.
basically almost a
What,
6 KDA.
5?
Insane.
6?
Like, you know,
Ah.
I know that KDA isn't everything, but when you have that kind of a stat, 9 rounds in, only 3 deaths, it's kind of insane. It's gonna be Shabby though who is pushed off the angle, and Cosmic Divide will come through as well. The Neon trying to run in past all that utility, but will be taken down. Shabby will take down Elaine as well, so it's already going to be a 3v5 off the bat here. A little bit unfortunate for the side of SVR. The crossfire is just too good between these two players
Yeah.
on this site, making it impenetrable.
Yeah, typically you would expect when the Cosmic Divide comes out of the attacking side, it's gonna make things super awkward for the defense, but with Lucidity falling down there, it made it super awkward for Sovereign, because what are they gonna do with this Cosmic Divide when they can't even push into sight? And it's so hard for them to find this space when Thirst Reds are just so good at fighting these duels every single time. And they're looking for another thrifty round here. And Sovereign, they've already invested everything into this round. They've yet to find an inkling of space yet. They've tried time and time again to go for the B hit. Whenever they have ultimates as well, it seems like they always want to
30 seconds
push
left.
down B. But the op, oh, Shabby, picks up Joey. And again, that's more salt to the wounds
One
here
enemy
of an
remains.
already bleeding Sovereign. And now it's all down to Chet, who's gonna walk up as well. Uh-oh, this is so scary here, Zach. And
Jump!
there's the concuss coming in. Chet really have no
10
other
seconds
option but to stay knocked inside this corner. Is she going to find anything? No, she won't. And that's another flawless round for Thirst Red.
Oh god, Sovereign is struggling here, and it's just simply the fact that there is no potential for them to trade in the fights they're taking. Like, look at this push from Lucidity. She tries to go in, falls to the Brimstone, is not able to get traded, and in the process as well, her teammate, I think it was Joey? No, it was Elaine. Elaine, you know, tried to rush in to try and trade, but in that process got caught in the crosshairs of Shabby, who takes her down. Either way though, you have to give credits to Thirst Reds for where they're playing well, but you also have to point
Yeah.
out that Sovereign, they are making these rather minor mistakes, which is really giving them a miserable time here. Shabby though, she is already holding this angle. Yep, we'll get one already. It's not even gonna fall off the angle or TP away. She's in fact gonna peek out further and gets a second as well. And of course the breach utility comes through, is going to flash the Reyna here. And Shabby gets third, it gets number 3. It's so close to an ace right now. 4! Just 1 kill left to find. Elaine, her position is known.
Okay,
Come
one
on,
more.
Elaine. Peek that, get that kill if you can. And yep, Shabby wants it. She spots just the tip of her head, waiting for the breeze to come into her crosshairs here. And yep, she's gonna be waiting, trying to get that kill. The rest of her team as well, they don't want to steal it from her. And yep, that's the first ace of today, baby. That's gonna be Shabby taking
Oh.
down the entire team of Sovereign. Not just the
Last
flawless, but
round
also
in the
the ace
half.
for her.
I mean, you gotta commend Afterglow on that utility usage. It's so on point. That's how Shabi was able to get those first two frags because of the beautiful concuss from Afterglow to get that backup going for Shabi. Goes for the redef, gets the second kill, TP's out, and then went back in for more. I mean, oh my god, Thirst Red, the amount of coordination this team has is just so good. Okay, activates the Empress here for Joey, but the ults have been just ineffective for Sovereign for the most part. Elaine again falls. Shabby goes huge once more with the tour de force, and they're looking for another thrifty round here with the spike finally in their hands. And Sovereign again running around like headless chicken. Can they even retrieve the spike? Not with Joey falling down like that. Lucidity will be good for one, but is that it for Sovereign? Can Chip find more? Yes, he does. Yes, she does. Now it's a 1 versus 3. Full HP, not a single chip damage onto her, but still Spike is way too far for her to recover.
I like I like the angles that these players from Thirst Shreds are watching. You have Ratatouille's as well as Weavy watching, for the spike push. And meanwhile, the Brimstone is already, making her way through CT here. So I think they expect J2 to be coming. 30 seconds left on the clock. Has to
30
retrieve
seconds
spike, get
left.
some kills, and also get the plant. Seeming like an impossible task so far for poor J2 here. And yep, she's gonna be peeked right into the crosshairs of Ratatouille's, and that's gonna be the 3K and an almost flawless round yet again. However, this time at least two players went down, so that's
Switching
the first half
sides.
over. And
Match point.
honestly, Thirst Threads in that last round, especially if you looked at Shelby, it looked absolutely insane because she had the tour de force in one hand and she had the operator in the other. She just switched between operators, like absolutely confident and getting those two kills and really doing a phenomenal job for the team. And of course, I think that this is the first ace of these playoffs, so definitely something that's commendable. 12 so far already on match point. They just need to close out the pistol, and looking at the way they're playing, I think that they have a really good shot of getting a flawless scoreline of 13-0 for this map.
I mean, we got close earlier with Inari's 4K, but now it's a completely different story with two completely different teams. And we said how both of these teams had a pretty similar sort of track to get to this point. We were certainly expecting as well that it was going to be a close game, right, Zach? But no, lo and behold, Thirst Reds, they're definitely showing us why they took out one of the favorite teams so early on in this open. They took out Extend Crit in the group stage of all stages, and they're showing us now just how that happened in Fracture, no less. I mean, this team is definitely a team to watch out for from here on out. I mean, I know it's just the first game of their series, but 12-0? Hey, what else is there to say here, Zach?
uh, it says that they are extremely confident on their map pick, like
Yeah.
extremely competent as well. Both these things are equally true here because of that 12-0, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if they can close it at 13-0. But while even if they do close it at 13-0, it's still a game over for the side of Sovereign here, because while they did take quite a beating on this map, you do have to realize that this was not their map pick. Maybe maybe
Yeah.
maybe it's the map that they usually go for a ban for, or that they didn't have the opportunity this time, or maybe they just decided that they could just wing it and try to get in the second map, because that is going to be Breeze, and they do have quite a strong Breeze, I would say, which is why they went for the pick. So either way, it's not over until it's 2-0 or 2-1 or whatever happens with these three maps. But looking at this halftime, we are going to be heading back into the second half of this first map of Fracture, where it seems like their Shreds are poised to have a perfect, flawless map. 13-0 possibly coming in if they can just pick up this pistol. Also, both Ratatouille's and Shabi, before I pointed out that Ratatouille's was on I think 17-3. Now she's on
17-3, I
23.
think.
Both these
Yeah,
players have only
yeah.
died 3 times in the last 12 rounds. In
Ah,
fact, Weeby hasn't died even once.
oh,
Sure, she's only on 4
hasn't
kills,
died.
but what can she do if the rest of her team kills everybody else by the time she like gets there?
I mean, that'll be a sight to see. The first 13-0 of the playoffs. But not if Sovereign still has got something left in the tank here. I mean, as long as it's not over until the fat lady sings, so to speak, here, Zach. But the way things are looking, well, it seems like their Reds are poised to get that clean, flawless game, as you mentioned. Of course, it's a bit of a different pace here as we go on the attacking side, where it's generally favored here in Fracture. Of course, they have a lot of utility to back on up that aggression, and Ratatouille's will be shut down for now for Joey. But they do get the spike plant off of it. Will they actually go for the plant here with the utility coming in from the opposite side of things? And Sovereign capitalized off of it. And suddenly the tables have turned. They're the ones looking for the flawless now, but not. Shabi has some more words to say about it. 1 HP left. She's got 1 bullet as well. She's gonna go for this peek, and she gets Joey off the back of that. Finally gonna fall down, but Sovereign, they refuse to go down without a fight.
I think we jinxed them by calling for the 13-0. But nevertheless, a fantastic round coming in from Sovereign. Really, really well played. And again, this is the kind of coordination that they have been so sorely lacking on attack, but they managed to pull it off in defense. Like you saw it towards, the B side there, both these players playing inside here and definitely managing to play off each other, especially the interplay between Joey and Lucidity with those frenzies, really, really managing to get those kills there. And yeah, it seems like they are in position to get yet another round as well, because it is going to be just classics for the entire team of their Shreds here. They are trying to get some control, just patiently pushing, seeing if they can take down a player or two. Lucidity, though, is going to get a kill, and Ray will also take the Ratatouille. Again, the momentum swinging rapidly in the favor of Sovereign here, even as there's a silent lurk going in towards the opposite side.
Here we go, though. Let's see if Thirst Reds can find a little bit more damage. 3 members left standing. 3 versus 5. Actually, pretty hefty investment from Sovereign going into this round, hoping it will propel them into round number 3. Of course, they have the 0 room to work with. Oh, the barrel gets spotted by Chet! But she picks them both up. Joey to close it out for the flawless. So Sovereign with the flawless of their own. They're still alive and kicking, but for how long here, Zach? They got 0 room to work with. The Thirst Reds, well, they're thirsty for blood.
Definitely. All it takes is one mistake, and that's gonna be GG next map. These 2 rounds, yeah, they did win the pistol and they managed to win the bonus of fit, but right now they are playing with less than ideal weaponry here. You have 3 Spectres and 1 Marshal. In fact, it's gonna be just Lucidity who has a rifle and half armor available to work with here. It seems like their strats, they want to go in for this A site, slowly getting control of Dish, methodically clearing out angles one by one. And it's going to be Shabi who is watching for the flank, who might be able to, in fact, get a kill or two. But look at the position of Lucidity, already pushing her way from Arcade, and she might be able to catch the flank here, because sadly, after that nerf, Chamber only has 1 trademark left. So it might be the downfall if she decides to push onward. But in fact, instead, she's going to be just falling back and making sure that nobody is aggressing on that B side. Ratatouille, so she has gotten control of Dish properly. And that's going to be the aftershock coming through, trying to keep the site from getting too bad here. Salisto will get one even with the Leer, but the trades are quick right now. 3v3, the advantage lying towards the side of neither team, as the trade yet again comes through and taking Lucidity. Shabi, though, she gets the headshot onto Ray, and it's all down to Che. Che 2 does have that Marshal, but Shabi will get that headshot, and that's going to be GG. Their Shreds take it 13-2. There was a little bit of a hint of a fight coming in from Sovereign, but like you mentioned, they had absolutely no room to work with, no rounds left to lose, and it is going to be that 13-2. What a score on Fracture.
Absolute stronghold down in the sites. In the defense, Thirst Reds was just nigh impenetrable, and well, phenomenal showing for them. I mean, Whew, that was an exhausting game to watch, to be quite frank with you, Zach. I mean, you'd expect at this point, the playoffs, teams we were expecting a close game. I mean, that's it, plain and simple. But nope, there's Reds. They showed us why they're good at fracture. They showed us why they like fracture. I'm hoping here of for a different change of pace here going into Breeze, and but with the way things panned out, I just don't know how they're going to bounce back from this Sovereign. Of course, Breeze is also one of their comfort maps, but 13-2 here, Zach, and Lucidity. We could see it so many times how Lucidity tried to claim that space. I mean, the utility usage was there, but the aim was just more impactful for Thirst Reds. They shut down Lucidity every single time.
Yeah, it was just a bit unfortunate. In fact, quite unfortunate for the side of Sovereign there. They just weren't able to get any kind of purchase or any kind of find any kind of chink in the armor of the side of Thirst Shreds when
Mhm.
they were on attack here. And even though on defense they look just a bit stronger, but you saw them on the bonus round where they had
Yeah.
those specters against things, and they still managed to equally trade out most of the time. It's just really really
Hmm.
unfortunate that they didn't have more rounds to work with, because I feel like if perhaps they had started off on defense instead, things might have been better for them. But it is going to be 13-2. It is what it is. And we are going to be heading into Breeze next, so I'm pretty excited to see what kind of plays we're going to be seeing out of Sovereign on their map, because this is a map where they've defeated teams like Fuma as well as Blaze Thea in the group stage as well as the decider. So definitely, they are experienced, and the agent comp they run, like you mentioned, it might make all the difference, because if they can capitalize on the double duelist and get aggressive enough, it might make all the difference for them.
I mean, we've got to have set record there for the most flawless round set in any of these games, especially here in the playoffs. The almost flawless game coming in from Thirst Reds, but Sovereign still not out of the game yet. Perhaps we will see a change of Breeze going into Breeze, but we'll have to find out when we come back. If you're just tuning in, my name is Datum, casting here today with Zach. See you guys in just a few. Welcome, guys. You're still watching the VCT Game Changers APAC Open 4 Stage 1 Playoffs. Day 1. That was a mouthful, Zach, but here we are at potentially the last game of this broadcast. I mean, it was such a phenomenal showing for Thirst Reds, but this time we're going into Breeze that Sovereign picked.
Yeah, I'm definitely excited to be here. And that first map, well, it was a bloodbath. We see why Thirst Shreds are called Thirst Shreds because the map just ran red. I'm sorry, I had to say that. So, yeah, it is going to be Fracture going in their favor. It was their map pick, but the first half was a perfect 12-0. Like, sure, Sovereign did manage to pick up the pistols and keep it from becoming a 13-0, but nevertheless it was a really really rough game for Sovereign, and they have to be feeling fractured after that game. However, though,
Oh,
it is going to be their
oh.
pick coming up next. We're gonna be heading to Breeze, a little bit of beach action, Caribbean action, and hopefully things look brighter for them. They are gonna be starting off an attack here, which does favor them because, like we talked about, looking at the team comps that they usually run on this map, they do go in for that double duelist setup quite often. So since they are starting off an attack, they might be able to capitalize on that if they do go in for their usual picks here. Meanwhile, though, Thirst Shreds, they have to be feeling pumped after that win on Fracture.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you would think, right? I mean, typically, teams prefer being on the attack on Breeze because there's just a lot of options available for you, right? You can hit up mid, you can hit up B and A main, and you've also got the option of going or sort of injecting yourself into the back line by taking control of Hall. Right, but the thing is, when you consider who your opposition is, and in this case, Thirst Reds, and you consider just how well they perform in Breeze on the defense, things get a little bit more complicated. I mean, the last two maps, or these two maps that we're having, Fracture and Breeze, is the two maps where Thirst Reds absolutely dominated against X and Crit, and it wasn't just a linear story where they won the map. No, it's in particular the defense that they took over the game against X and Crit. And taking a look at the stat sheet right now, in Fracture they went 10-2 on a defense. In Breeze, they really like going on the defense because that's where they went 8-4 against the former opposition. So I wonder what Sovereign has in store for us picking this. This is because this is like a power move, right, Zach? You pick the map that your enemy team is good at. So I wonder. I'm just really banking on that confidence pick. What is Sovereign going to show us here?
I mean, if your opponents are good, you just have to be better. And I think that's the strat that Sovereign is planning to establish here. And there are no slouches at Breeze either, if you think about it, because I think that they do have almost perfect win rate. The only time they've lost in the APAC series so far is against Zol Meraki. And
Mm-hmm.
even that wasn't too bad. It was like 13-7. But they have absolutely dominated against other teams. And they even beat Fuma 13-10 here. So definitely a map that they are very confident on. And I think what they're banking on is their playstyle. It's extremely unique when it comes to Breeze, because when you look at Breeze, you're usually used to seeing like a Cypher or a Chamber, a single duelist, and of course double
Yeah.
initiators. But
Mm-hmm.
the side of Sovereign, they don't care. They're happy with just their Soa pick, and they're just gonna be rushing it, especially with that consistent Reyna coming through, and of course Lucidity on that Neon. We saw her just starting to have an impact in the last game, so hopefully this game we see more of that coming in, and especially on maps like Fracture and Breeze, which are like so huge, and there are so many areas of attack that you can't pinpoint an attack. You do want an agent that can be kind of quick on their feet, and Neon perfectly fits that bill. I really, really hope that we will be seeing some Neon action going into this game.
Yeah, but that's the thing, though. All right. I'm loving this. I'm loving the concept here for Sovereign. They full on the full-on confident pick, the confident map pick into the confident agent composition. Because what do they have in what have they used going into Breeze for the most part? I mean, I'm looking at the stat sheet right now. They like going for the double duelist again, the Neon into the Reyna, and going for that chamber. So really, it's all out aggression and fragging prowess for Sovereign. And we saw that exact game plan for Fracture, and we all know how that turned out earlier. So the question is, Zach, is that really still the best option to go for Sovereign here? I mean, for sure it is their what they're used to, but perhaps the time for adaptation is now. But perhaps the time for change is now.
Perhaps again on a map like Fracture, you would be favored by running a double initiator, perhaps a
Yeah,
Sova and a Sky, or even
utility.
like a Fade right now. With Fade
Mm-hmm.
coming into the meta, especially because her haunt gives you so much information as to where the players are, and if you are going to be rushing in, they will be distracted when they're trying to break the haunt or those annoying little wolves that she sends out. So
Yeah, it's so
either
much
way,
so tanky.
sorry,
Those um
Prowlers.
the prowlers, they're so tanky. I believe they're more than 100 health.
Yeah, I think they're around 150. So, I've been in that situation before. You're just trying to break them, trying not to get blinded,
Yeah.
but nope, you just have people coming in behind them and like, yeah, you wasted all your bullets in the Prowler. Hello there. And yeah, hopefully that situation doesn't come up today because it's not a nice place to be in. But yeah, looking at Breeze so far from both these teams, this stat sheet has a lot of information. It's just interesting to see that this is a strong map for both these teams. The thing is that if you do look at the maps which the side of Sovereign does like. They like they're pretty strong on Haven as well as Ascent. In fact, Ascent is one of their strongest maps. I'm really surprised that they didn't go in for it. But again, like both these teams are, they do their research, right? So if you look at the
Hmm.
bans coming in, it was the insta ban instantly. Like once Thirsters came in, the first ban they did was Ascent. So of course, I think they just went for the next best pick they had in their pocket, which was Breeze. Sure, Icebox is going to be there as well for the third map, but Breeze is going to be the second map
Hmm.
online. And if you look at the win rate they have and the number of times they've played it, Breeze is one of the top three maps which they've played. So maybe that explains why, even though it's a map that Thirst Reds is strong on, they still opted for it instead.
Hmm. Yeah, playing for their strengths instead of the enemy's weaknesses is what they're banking on right now. But speaking of their enemies, let's take a look at Thirst Red's composition that they've used in the past. Seems like it's a lot more standard, I would say. They do stick to the Sova into the KO setup, which is what we're more and more leaning towards anyway, in terms of in the competitive scene, how many people use it. And instead replacing that double duelist comp with a jet and a chamber comp. And I like that. It's a very, very well balanced comp. You got a lot of utility, and it's what Thirst Red's gonna use right now.
Definitely, that does seem to be the case here as they are heading into this matchup on Breeze against each other. And it's going to be, if I'm not wrong, it's going to be Sovereign who is starting off on attack yet again.
Yeah.
So this is not something that's in their favor because Shreds, again, this is a team that ate forward Extend Crit, who is one of the top teams competing for a spot, who was, I'm sorry, one of the top teams competing for a spot to qualify directly for Elite. And they managed to ruin all their chances with the that matchup. Either way, it looks a bit rough for Sovereign, but if as long as Lucidity and her fellow duelists can create space and create impact, it might be exactly what they need. Because Breeze is a map where retakes are extremely hard if you're not, if you're not able to use your utility in conjunction with your team.
Yeah, actually, do remind me, Zach, did they go for a double duelist again? Because by the end there, I saw a Cypher. So a bit of adjustment coming in from Sovereign. We'd have to double check what their lineup is. Did they actually go for the Neon again? I
I
don't
think they went
think
in for a
so.
Reyna and a Jet. I'm not sure. That's
Oh.
what I saw, but
Mm.
maybe they swapped it at the last second and I
Yeah,
didn't see
I
it.
have to check. We'll have to check in a few, but I like it already. Even though it was a minute adjustment coming in from them. I mean, even this just a change from something like a chamber into a s- a cipher is already a massive difference in terms of just how much they could bank on if they if the double duelist setup doesn't really work out. I mean, we asked earlier, is this going to be the time that Sovereign is going to adjust? And it seems like, even though it's just a small adjustment, it is. And I like it. I like it so far. There we go. We're getting the lineup back up. It's a change up of Sentinel. They changed the chamber into a Cypher and the Neon into a Jet. So a little bit more on the outdated side of things. But Sovereign, this is I like this better than the original comp in Breeze.
Definitely, I agree with that. Like honestly, I think that we will be seeing a lot more love coming in for Cypher on Breeze because
Mm,
before with after Chamber came into the meta, even though his abilities are so good, the fact that he only has one trademark right now, it makes him a little bit less effective as a
yeah.
sentinel. Like honestly, let's face it, Chamber is not really a sentinel. He's just a sentinel because of his trademark ability. He's basically just a duelist. He has look at his
Yeah.
abilities. He has a sheriff and he has an operator. That's he's basically a duelist at this point. He's like a nerf jet, but or a
Well,
buff jet. I'm sorry,
yeah.
but either way, it is going to be the chamber being replaced by a Cipher, which is honestly good because Cipher is probably a little bit stronger on defense. With both the strips, he can block off areas like halls that you don't really have to, focus on watching. But let's see. We
Oh,
are going to be
oh,
heading into the
oh.
second map for the day. A little bit of
w-
fun coming in
Uh,
from Afterglow and sorry, Afterglow and Ratatouille's here. Looking at the
mm,
bias coming in, Ratatouille is going to go in for that Sheriff, already playing very aggressively. We saw her last game and the impact she had. So with that Sheriff, she's going to be peeking down mid. The Solar Recon as well,
uh-oh.
possibly giving away some info here. She's going to be trying to dodge the flash, and it's going to be the kills coming through. Lucidity will take down Ratatouille, but Afterglow will barely live to fight another day as
1
she takes
HP.
down Che too here.
Afterglow, literally HA 8 HP, but will be successfully trading out that one kill. Push now, committed down in A side. Aldrone at the lead. There goes the Viper's wall to come down as well. Lucidity gonna get the better swing against Afterglow, who remember was only down to 8 health. Shabby picks up Ray, so that equalizes things once more. She picks up another against Lucidity, and suddenly turns things around. The retake about to happen, and the patience on that Viper's wall going to potentially reward them big time. Thirsts, well, they lose Dumpling from the get-go, but still 2 versus 2 right now. Joey picks up Wee Wee, so now Shabby's all alone. 2 bullets left on that Headhunter. Does she have it in her to go for the clutch here? Absolute confidence on the headshot. She knows that she can get this one tap off, but the position has been noted, and Joey will be there for the capitalize. Now 1-0 on the board. Sovereign pick up the pistol.
That was a lovely round coming in from Sovereign, especially Lucidity there. Her timing was absolutely perfect, and she almost managed to take down Shabby as well. So that would have made things really awkward for Thirst Threat. They're doing quite a bit of damage as well. Look at this dash from her. She knows that the chamber TP, she knows the position, but Shabby, her crosser placement was just perfect there as she took down her opponent Jet. Either though, that's gonna be the first round for Sovereign. The upgrades coming through as well. Again, Lucidity going in for that rifle buy, when the rest of her team is going to be going in for Spectres. And it seems like so far they want to go in towards the B side, pushing in from mid as well as B main. The split is really interesting, and it's really, really good for them because if you notice, it was Thirst Threads who stacked A side instead, and all of them are now on the flank here as they make their way trying to clear out these angles. Also, look at the position of the camera from the Cypher. If she thinks she's gonna spot all of them there, a little bit of a hello gotcha moment. I got your number, and that is going to be a 5v5 retake, albeit with Thirst Threads having the weapon disadvantage.
Oh, everyone's just running into that elbow angle. First Reds, of course, they're huddling up. They want to find the maximum damage, but Snakebite not really letting them get into position. Of course, a single clip isn't enough to mow them all down, which is why Elaine wants to peek this up. She picks up Wee Wee, and she picks up 2 right after for the ace now, and she gets it. Elaine with an ace and a very, very clean round for Sovereign.
As a second ace, this time for the
Other than,
opponent team
yeah,
though, so I know people might say it's an eco ace, but in my book an ace is an ace, and definitely the fact
true.
that she managed to get those headshots on all those players rushing her at the same time is a big commendation in my book there. Look at this, very, very clean control. She didn't even have to reload the Spectre. Whenever I get a kill with the Spectre, or you see it all the time, whenever someone gets a kill with the Spectre, they immediately go running back, going for the reload. But
Yeah.
Elaine, that was just really, really good from her. So, yep, she also does have that Viper's Pit online, making this bonus round very much doable for the side of Sovereign here. But the push, though, look at where Ratatouille and Ray are coming. They will get one, and that's the Viper's Pit off, and Ratatouille will, in fact, be able to get away, get 3 kills, in fact, and stay alive there. It's going to be 2v4 right now. Sure, Ratatouille might be low, but the damage has been done. The spike has been dropped, and the last 2 players are left in kind of a bad position, I would say. They do manage to pick up that upgraded rifle, but I don't know if that's going to be enough here.
Bonus? Doable? Question mark? I mean, Elaine falling there is just gonna signal the downfall for Sovereign's momentum now, with Ratatouille absolutely going huge. But still, they decide to push up down in B site. Two members alive and kicking, almost full health for both of them. Ray, of course, with the Vandal pickup. Might be doable still, actually. They still have a little bit of time to work with, but they're getting closed up on. Actually, I don't think the knife detected any of them, but Shabby's just gonna dry peek in to pick them both up. Wow. Clean way to end the round there. Thirst Red back on the board, 1-2.
We saw this last game as well, like Shabe and Ratatouille just both absolutely not caring, just pushing forward and
Yeah.
you know, getting those shots. And this time it was Ratatouille's again with the 3K and Shabe with the other two on the cleanup here. I love how she just drive peeks it. She knows that they have a rifle. She knows that she can't TP out, but she doesn't care. She's just gonna go for the kills, and she does manage to get them. Again, I think that they did manage to lose one rifle, but Ray has enough money to buy, so all is good there. Now though, it's the full buy coming in for Sovereign, and this is the round which the side of Sovereign has to try and win, because otherwise it's going to be pushed into an eco. And they do have the Viper's Pit as well as those rifles to work with. But meantime, if you think about it, on the opposite side, Shabi, she's going to be playing with
Tour de
that
force.
Tour de Force, which
Yeah.
can prove absolutely devastating if not taken care of initially.
Ratatouille is gonna be tamed by the Owl Drone for now, as well as the Seer, or the Leer, sorry. But it's a pretty easy start here for Sovereign. They're still deciding whether they should commit. But the Viper's Pit is going to signal just that as they take control of that site. Spike finally gonna go down, but it's 4 versus 5.
Spike planted.
Is there gonna be a counter Viper's Pit here? No, Dumplings doesn't even have that ulti close. But Ratatouille's already deciding to push in. They do have the recon bolt still to work with in just a few seconds. And they weed out Elaine! Oh no, Ratatouille looks for more! She's already done her job, and this last man standing here, that's Joey, who will fall in the hands of Shabby on that Tour de Force. And what a retake that was. Absolutely no fear from Lucidity, or rather from Ratatouille's.
That headshot onto Elaine. Elaine was the game changer there, because that was the Viper's Pit down, and everybody was just basically caught with their pants down. A really, really awkward bunch of exchanges. And of course, this kill onto Lucidity through the smoke, insane coming in from her. Like, you see why Ratatouille is arguably, you know, the most consistent player on this team. Of course, the rest of her team, especially Shabi, do back her up quite a bit. But you know, even with their enabling, the fact that she is able to pull off these kind of plays and these kind of stats is insane.
2-2 is the scoreline. It's a much different story compared to the last game where it was just the Thirst Red show. Sovereign putting up such a good fight now, but can they turn the sides to their favor? Bit of a pause there for Shabby, but she does survive for now. Trademark still up and looming, so she doesn't really want to give away that Hall's position, so she decides to play it safe for now. B site though is where Sovereign looks to swarm up right now. So looking potentially for the first frag here. Double Doors is being held down by Elaine. And oh, the defender side spawn. Lucidity finally makes noise. Shabby falling down, signals the execute down in B site, but Wee refuses to go down. Dumpling does as well, so Wee is really the last anchor here for TST. Finally gonna secure that real estate for themselves as Joey picks her up. But 3 versus 2 now. And Joey has the Empress available to activate. But just get the spike down. Ratatouille picks up Joey so that the op finally revealing itself. But 2 versus 2? Let's see how this retake is going to commence.
With that kill, she also has the Blade Storm, so that is going to be that additional firepower available as well. Ches and Elaine playing this as patiently as possible, making a little bit of sound confusion coming through. And Ches will take to an afterglow. It's going to be Ratatouille left alone in a 1v2. We've seen her do more with less, but the point is that she knows the position of only one player. She doesn't know where Elaine is. Gets that headshot though, 45 HP left in a 1v2, and yep, she has to get this kill on Elaine. Taps the spike, but the position isn't known here. Oh, she spots her, but it might be too late because the clock is ticking. And yep, it seems like the best thing she can do is try and save here, or at least try and get the kill. But nope, Elaine will barely survive and should go down to the spike. Yep, that is going to be the third round for Sovereign. Really, really close, but they will take it home in the end. And more importantly, they managed to take the operator offline as well as the Blade Storm. So Ratatouille's, well, she has nothing to play with this round.
Lucidity just injecting herself into, well, that nest area. But really, yeah, really was basically the bane of the defense there for Thirst Red, because it shut down their rotation, and they really had no, they realized they had no information on where everyone is going to come from. But now Sovereign decided to make things a little bit quicker. The blades activated for Lucidity. Classic comes out, but it's Joby to finish off Ratatouille's. And again, the defense getting dismantled so methodically here for Thirst Reds. Operator still in the hands of Shabby. Teleporter not active anymore, so that means she's going to fall. So 2 versus 4, and Thirst Reds, they're getting a run for their money here.
Spike planted.
Definitely. I think they got more than what they bargained for with that push down mid. It worked the first round, it's not going to work the second, but Dumpling, she's going to be able to get a kill. Weeby as well, making it 2v2, but oh no, that's going to be exceedingly awkward here as a Cypher gets tagged. Little bit of damage through the wallbang, but ultimately it's going to be the player who's safe. Weeby has to try and clear this out before she can push on. It's going to spot out Elaine, so both these players' position are known. Weeby will take the chance, and it's all down to Elaine. Elaine takes down Weeby, 1v1 right now. Viper versus Viper. Which one can do, but the spike is planted though in a rather awkward spot, so she might be able to get the tap of Dumpling. There, she's playing this so well. Elaine doing her best to buy time on the clock, does manage to get that in play. Dumpling will take her down, but there's no time left on the clock. That's round number 4 for Sovereign, and what a round it was too.
Yeah, Dumpling is just cursed. This is the second time that she got the kill, but not the round. It's unfortunate for her. But the ring around the Rosie there is so tense for both of these players, and all of the members of Sovereign falling means that they have a couple of members who will not be able to reinvest going into this round. But questionable timing here for Thirst Reds on the timeout, because their bank is broken. I wonder what they're going to be planning on this eco round.
I think they really do need a timeout here because, first of all, I think it's going to be an eco if I'm not wrong. They do have some ultimates to work with, as well as a saved weapon from Dumpling, but they're not really going to have anything else in the bank much. So I think this is a good place for them to evaluate their strategy and how they want to go forward. Because right now, from what I can see, if they don't give the first blood to SVR, they're doing quite well. But the moment they get a little bit too trigger happy and they don't succeed in their endeavors, like what we saw last round towards mid, that's when Thirst Shreds is seeming to have a little bit of trouble going forward. So either way, I think they are going to try and fix what they're doing and make sure that they can capitalize on whatever aggression they are showing. Either way, though, it is like I said, going to be a bit of an eco. Apart from that rifle, I think that they will have those sheriffs and of course the Marshal who Ratatouille's, but nevertheless, unless they make atrocious mistakes around that, Sovereign does have a significant advantage in.
I was thinking they could have timed out after this round where they're not on an eco, but perhaps you're going to try something out in this eco round. We do see a hero buy coming out of Dumpling. And a lot of that utility investment as well. Both snake bites and one away from getting that Viper Spit. So really, maybe that's what they're banking on here. Get an orb or perhaps a kill onto Dumpling and opt for the Viper Spit retake. But by the looks of it, they don't got the read right because A site is where this execute is happening from Sovereign. And they're not going to be met with anything apart from Afterglow Sheriff, who is just hiding behind yellow.
I think at this point it seems like a 5v5. They do have that KO ultimate to work with. They can shut down some things, but positions they're playing, it's not very favorable to try and use it because it's not even going to get the range right now. You do see Shabby trying to get a headshot with that headhunter, but sort of having trouble towards it, I believe. Lucidity and Ches, they're just going to close things. Ratatouille does get one, but Ray 2 is there for the trade. That is going to be 5-2. Of course, it was an eco, so nevertheless, though, a significant advantage for Sovereign, who are definitely feeling much more confident on this map pick of theirs, especially Lucidity, who seems to have gotten herself some coffee or something, because man, is she popping off right now.
She's pumped. Yeah, she's pumped right now. But I like the idea there on the eco timeout into that hefty investment on the Viper. They just didn't get the read right. Perhaps if they set up in a site, things could have been a lot different, but who's to say? Sovereign walk away off of that round with a 3-round advantage, and with the Viper spit on Elaine's hands anyway, which she will be investing early into B site this time.
Yeah,
And
that should make
yeah.
the side of Thirst Red rethink perhaps that. But meanwhile, though, the push from Ratatouille's and
Oh!
Afterglow is yet again going to be punished in the elbow, and yep. It seems like they do want to rotate towards the A side, but there are still two players waiting for them here. They're confident to leave Elaine alone. And yep,
Oh!
Wee Wee gets that headshot onto Lucidity. Shabby takes that one as well. That's going to be things equalized just like that. Another headshot coming through. Oh, how?
Wee
Wee
Wee!
Wee gets 3 kills in the same spot, managing to get perfect headshots and somehow still staying alive. It's all in the hands of just Che2 right now, and what looked like an extremely promising start for the side of Sovereign just dissolved into Wee Wee's extremely nice headshots.
That works.
Wee couple kills for Wee Wee.
Whee! Sorry.
Let's take a look at this and look at this beautiful triple swing from Wee Wee. It was falling apart for TST, but well, Wee Wee just denied that double doors control. One by one they swung in, and one by one they get swatted down by Wee Wee. Wee Wee Wee. For that matter.
Anyway.
But yeah, I'm expecting this slowdown for Sovereign to come out. They should go for the defaults now because despite still being at their advantage, well, TST is slowly catching up to their tactics. And so far, nobody spotted each other out apart from this bit aggression from Elaine, who might have a pretty good idea that Wee Wee is just around that elbow corner. But there's 3 people here. She decides to call it off. If she pushes up, this might be potentially dangerous for her. But the blades. Uh-oh. This is such awkward positioning, but the first one to commit is going to be at a pretty hefty spot in Wee Wee's first of all. Lucidity about to peek up as well. And, oh, Ratatouille's in that off angle. It's off angle on top of off angle. Leaves us with a 4 versus 4, but Joey coming in from that Viper's wall, gonna secure a site.
That's the Viper Spit coming in as well, so it's gonna make retaking all the more difficult, especially in this 3v4. No, none of their positions are known. They do know where the Reyna is, but apart from that, it's going to make things really, really rough here. Tatulis, again, trying to see if she can get that. If she can pull off what she did the last time the Viper Spit went down, it might be exactly what they need. And yep, the flash is coming through. This time, though, it's gonna be Ray who takes down Dumpling. A little bit of an awkward interaction, but Tatulis, yeah, she's gonna take down Elaine. Yet again, a repeat of history, but the crossfire this time between Che 2 and Ray 2, who are the dynamic duo, take down the other two.
Well, things aren't looking good at all for
Here.
Thirst Reds right now. Because remember, they wanted to be on the defense. They picked the defending side, and well, they haven't really been racking up these rounds as cleanly as they did in Fracture. It makes you wonder what kind of showing they'll have in the attacking side, because statistically that isn't a side that they are proficient in, especially in the past game where we saw them against X10 Crit. I mean, of course they did win the game, but it was in the defensive side that they racked up as much rounds as they could. And going into the attack with a 4-round deficit, or rather a 3-round deficit potentially, is a spot that they rarely find themselves in.
I agree with you on that. Again, they're used to playing from a position of power, especially in their qualifier matches. But this time, it seems like they might not get the chance. But look at Dumpling's
Uh-oh,
position,
Dumpling.
such a cheeky little angle here. If she doesn't get spotted, it's gonna be so much trouble. But never mind,
Oh.
Lucidity checks it. A little bit of a. She had me going there for a bit. Like, will she check it? Will she won't? Will she check it? Will she won't? But she decides to err on the side of caution and is rewarded for it. Meanwhile, the rotation is coming through from the A side. It is going to be the Jet who goes towards mid instead with a Blade Storm. It does a lot of damage, in fact, to Lucidity, but nevertheless, it's going to be Tulis who stays alive and only has 2 blades left, I think. So she will have to hit a headshot for them to reset. And yep, the turret of force is going to be spotted as well, so they know that Shabi, they have to deal with her, and that's a rare miss coming in from her. Lucidity manages to stay alive, but she gets a shot nevertheless onto Ray 2 and stays alive as well as she
1
makes her
HP.
way through. Gets another shot, takes down Joey and Shabi. She seems to be the hero on 7 HP here. That's not stopping her though, as she takes down these players. 3v3 right now. And
Here.
everybody is looking quite low here, except for Wee Wee and Afterglow, but they don't have the weapons to work with either, so it's not like you can really worry or anything. Oh no! The miss, but Wee Wee is there to cover her and gets that kill. It's all down to just Ches right now in a 1v3 situation. Position not known, but how many kills will that be able to net her? That's the question. And never mind, Afterglow just takes her out with a Marshall.
Thanks.
Thirst Red's finally back on the board off the back of the shabby heroics. Picks up 3 kills with just 7 health. It's a beautiful way to bounce back here on the back of a Thrifty as well. Started off pretty loose with the shorty not really working out, but the clapback, so to speak. There you go. 4 shots, 3 kills, and the shabby put Thirst Reds potentially back in the driver's seat because look at the eco of Sovereign. Their bank is broken.
It's amazing that their bank is broke because of all the rounds they've won.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
yeah, I guess when you have, it's not like they've been winning flawlessly. They have been losing a lot of players. So yep, it is gonna be the eco coming in, and they don't really have any ults to work with either, apart from that neural thrust from the Cypher here. And it seems like they want to push towards Hall here. It's gonna be Ratatouille, so spots out one, spots out multiple in fact, and that KO knife is gonna give them quite a bit of information here. And look at this position. That's gonna be really dangerous, and she gets one but gets shaded out. And it's gonna be Shabby though who takes down Lucidity.
Shabby.
They know the position of these players. It's gonna be Shabby who's flashed off the angle multiple times. That looks really,
So
really
many
awkward.
flashes.
But yeah, it's gonna be her getting yet another kill. Just 2 players left right now, Ray and Che. They have to try and salvage something of this round. It's just going to be the Cypher now, and Shabby with that 3k is gonna close it out. 5-6. Thirst Shreds looking like they are finally in their happy place and definitely getting
Yeah.
the rounds to try and get the equalizer.
Shabby again with the heroics. I mean, the operator hasn't been called upon so much in this defense, but it's a headache for Sovereign. They've been having a blast on this attack, only to be met by this wall. That is Shabby's op. We started with a 34th, and now it's the op, and Ratatouille is joining in on the fun. So Sovereign might not be ready for this double op setup. But they're both positioned in mid. And everyone's hitting down
Scanning
in B
ahead.
site where only it's Wee Wee down there.
There they are.
Recon Bolt gonna be there to try and spot out these members coming in and spot out both of their duelists, but Spam's not really connecting. The wall's just too thick for the operator shots. Oh, Hunter's Fury coming in from the attacking squad here, but Wee Wee's just sort of shrugged that Recon Bolt off. VTech to come in. Joey starts off strong, taking care of 3 already. Now it's all down to 2 of their members, and Dumpling really doesn't have it in her. And Sovereign bounced right back 7-5.
Switching sides.
Ooh, that was the round that they really needed. A flawless to, get them a little bit of an advantage going into the defense here. And I think their strats got more than what they bargained for, you saw them finally managing to figure out things towards the end, but nevertheless, it was some excellent plays coming through from the side of Sovereign, especially, Joey on the Reyna was really, really looking strong there. And of course, Lucidity, her aggression and her pinpoint aim is really, really good. And it's not just that she's reckless about it, she's also extremely careful, like that round you saw where she cleared out Dumpling there. So definitely a player to watch out for. And, I think that Sovereign, with this advantage, if they can get the pistol, they will be at a significant, round lead, 4 in the back. So definitely a map that they can look out to closing on, and who knows, possibly we'll be seeing map 3.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They executed that last round pretty cleanly for Sovereign, but also I felt like they got really lucky that none of the ops was in B side. I mean, let's face it, if either one of those ops, either on Shabby or whoever for that matter, had the op down in B side, things could have been very, very different for their assault down in that area. But nonetheless, it was a flawless round. Was it a flawless round for the last round in
Yeah, it
Sovereign's?
was.
Yeah, I believe it was a flawless round to cap it off on the 7-5 scoreline. Them keeping that advantage really is the bigger picture here for them, because they've been they've been struggling to close the half out in their advantage solely because of Shabby's op. But them keeping that advantage really is more of the momentum shifter for their side rather than the momentum stopper for TST. So now TST going on the attack, with that deficit is, we've talked about it a couple of times already, a spot that they're not really the most comfortable with.
I mean, it's 5-7. It's not the end of the world. And
That's true.
again, all it takes is one
Mhm.
pistol for things to get back in their favor, or at least, on an even footing here. So I'm definitely not writing them off. And the thing is that they are going to be on attack right now, and we didn't see them really trying to be on attack last time. Sure, we saw one round where they won, but they did also have a weapon advantage. So I'm not really sure if how strong or weak they are here. To be fair, they did manage to do quite well against X10 Crit, and of course the other teams they played against. So you never know. But I'm really looking forward to seeing how it's gonna go because Ratatouille is especially on that jet. I want to see how it's gonna be going.
Yeah, we're going back into the game. We'll figure that. We'll see that right now. Just how the attack is going to be, well, going for Thirst Reds right here. No share of investment this time for any of these members, apart for Shabby, of course, on the head hunter. So it seems like they're going for a rush here in B side. Everyone huddled up, down, in elbow. No default whatsoever. And already they're dumping down all of their utility. Wall goes down. Recon Bolt is gonna spot, well, a couple of members here coming in, so the rotate will be called upon early for Sovereign, and nobody holding the line here in mid. So really, Thirst Reds have got nobody watching their flank, but Sovereign decide to call it off. Instead, they go into sight. Well, Shabby will be trading out that kill from Joey. Jess still has a foothold down in the broken wall. Tailwind's in before the spike even goes down. So much confidence for Sovereign, getting punished from the get-go for TSC, but Lucidi's still alive and kicking. Double Tailwind, so Shabby's gonna be there waiting for the open arms. Now it's all down to Elaine, 74 health. So much speed being called for Sovereign, really biting them back in the butt.
It's really looking rough for Sovereign here, especially after Lucidity. I don't know what possessed her. I think she thought she had the jump on it, but that's gonna be the double peek, and Shabby again with the 3K. 3K Shabby is gonna be her new nickname, and that's gonna be Sovereign, who, I'm sorry, Thirst Red, who do take the pistol, and for a second it looked really rough for them because Lucidity, she was wreaking havoc, but she dashed right into the waiting headhunter arms of Shabby there, and that's gonna be her going down. And of course, for this game, it seems like Shabby is shaping up to be the hero. Already 17-7, doing a phenomenal job of, keeping her team, alive. Not just alive, like really in a good place here, I would
Yeah.
say. And yep, they are gonna have the full buy coming through. 4 Spectres and a Guardian on board. Again, Lucidity pushing super aggressively here. That Recon not really spotting out anybody, and I think that she expects it to be a B push, but I think the people towards mid might hear her out here.
Here we go.
Spike down mid.
Actually, TST looking for their 7th round now. Lucidity finds, well, an angle where she can find one kill, and that's Dumpling falling down. But still a massive gun advantage here for TST. Invests a lot of these guns. Wee picks up Elaine. Ray gonna be good for one, but Che left all alone now. And, well, 5 HP, and what seems like a far-fetched dream is all she has right now. And a classic, of course, but what else can that do against a Guardian up Shabby? Interesting choice of guns here for the chamber, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, I mean, we have seen Shabby hit some insane headshots before, so she's like, hey, it's good as long as I can hit the head or even like get 2 or 3 shots in the body.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a pretty good gun. Don't mess with the Guardian, and she's indeed managing to prove that here. And of course, the thing you need to know here is that the damage done by the side of Sovereign is pretty significant. They managed to take 3 players down. That's 3 Spectres down the drain, and yeah, you're gonna be seeing those 3 players only having pistols to play off of. So that makes this bonus already. The bonus is pretty hard to win on a map like Breeze, where most of the sightlines are really long. Now it's gonna be even much of a harder ask when you have 3 people on pistols, not even like downgraded Spectres or rifles.
Really, very minimal investment coming into this round, though. Only the sheriffs for Dumpling and Wee, and Shabby, of course, holding on still to that Guardian. So, First Reds, are they willing to give this round away? Wee almost gets the headshot against Ray. But of course, first contact still yet to be made for either of these teams. Ray gets spotted, but she double dips into the arms of Ratatouille, who's already taken control again off that back hall area. She picks
Oh
up the
my
Vandal
God.
and goes to town with it. Finds Joey and Jet. 3K now looking for the ace in the lane of Lucidity, running for the hills. Uh-oh, they spot each other out. Okay, Lucidity does pick up Wee Wee still in the lane. Good for one as well. So they're
Last
still
player standing.
making a lot of noise here, but Ratatouille has been the unsung hero
30
of this
seconds
round,
left.
and she's out for blood. Lucidity is running.
Spike
Doesn't
planted.
want to give the 4K to Ratatouille's, but I think she's going to try to go for the clutch here.
It's a 1v3, and of course, one of the players is really low, but now her position is known. No more element of surprise for her. Managed to break the knife as well. Goes in for the reload with that smoke, but oh, that headshot from Ratatouille is absolutely dirty as she takes out her counterpart Jet. No ace for you, but that's the round off the back of that. It was beautiful shots coming in. Immediately, like, her reflexes are so good. She manages to push through, get that pick onto Ray 2, dashes in, picks up that Vandal, and just gets 1-2 clean headshots. Like, look at this. It's so precise. It's not just the fact that she was able to aim. It's the fact that she managed to flick. Look at that flick onto J2. She should not be alive there. But nevertheless, it's going to be off her
180.
heroics that the side of TST will be taking the lead here. Looking extremely thirsty, I would say, for this victory.
Back on the blood hunt they are. 8-7, pedal to the metal. And they are not slowing down anytime soon. They're back on the murderous hunt. Ratatouille's again leading the charge here. Tailwind's in. And that's easy sight control as the spike goes in. But Lucidity going to fall as well. Shabby on the operators. Finally made the shot through, but actually shuts down Ratatouille's. Elaine does the same to Dumpling, but not any upgrades going in their hands, and the ops still alive and kicking from window, but this time the swing doesn't really connect. Afterglow is the one to pick up the kill. Finally, Shabby gets the connection onto Ray, but that is the Viper wall going up against them, so they got to push this up. And now it's all down to Joey, who manages to make her way into sight, but she's getting revealed by the recon. Really not a lot of options to do as she picks up Shabby, but no more time, no more HP, and no really options to come in. Means the Thrifty, or rather the Thrifty is gonna be denied, and there's Reds. Well, 2 rounds again.
Back to back. And the worst part is, sure, they managed to take down all the players, but look at the economy for Thirst Reds. Looking
Yeah,
so healthy there.
good.
And after, even though Shabby died and she lost the operator, guess what she has this round, ladies and gentlemen? She has the Tour de Force, which is honestly an operator, but even better because you can re-peek at the rate of a Marshal. Honestly, they need to nerf that gun sometime soon. Either way, though, it is going to be Shabby
So cheap.
who is going to be going to play in with
want
that
to
Tour de
play?
Force. In
Let's
fact,
play.
does have that shorty to play off of. But look at this position from Weavy, who's gonna be caught off guard by Joey. What a headshot coming in from her. Advantage finally starting off at Sovereign here, but they are gonna be going in for that B push right now. Shabby will spot out a player here, tries to get the shot in and will miss. In fact, but the sight is gone. The spike should go down relatively easily.
Viper spit.
The Viper spit from Dumpling also being invested here, so that's gonna make the retake really, really rough here. Shabby will be taken down the Lucidity, getting that pivotal kill. Trade's coming quickly though, so it's going to be a 2v3 right now. Advantage still towards Sovereign, but that after Glow's ult, it's gonna be a blessing and a curse, because the blessing is that it's going to take abilities away from all these players, but the worst part is it's gonna give her location away exactly if they can triangulate it based on the radius of the ult.
One enemy
Oh, here
remaining.
comes the execute though. Joey picks up Dumpling, so that's Pit going down. And the Afterglow to follow right after the fact. And Sovereign, oh, beautiful retake right there off of the first frag going their way. Able to trade their way into the man advantage and keep it. They denied Shabby of any of those kills by the flank coming in from Cave. And there you go. They just secure their round, stop this momentum that's been building up for Thirst Reds, who, by the way, still has the advantage. And I believe they still have enough in the bank for this one last buy. So really, the task at hand is not over yet for Sovereign. And look at that, still an op in the hands of Ratatouille's despite losing the round.
Yep, they do have the economy to back up their uh back up their aggressive plays because they managed to win quite a few rounds, especially after that bonus pick. It's been going well for them. But again, if they don't manage to capitalize on this, it's gonna put their economy in just a bit of a rough spot. Two or three of their players might not be able to afford a full buy. But on the opposite side, the side of Sovereign has the same problem. So this round is pivotal for both these teams. Because whoever wins it, they're gonna be pushing the other team into a little bit of a broken economy there. Looking at the positions though, it seems like their Shreds, they are gonna be going in for a little bit of patience. Shabby though gets one. The trades are quick though, as Jay will take down Weeby. It's gonna be just 3v3 right now. Looking at the position of these players though, yeah, they might just opt to go in for a rotate instead towards the B side. And that's the thing. The only thing that stands between them planting on the B side is going to be Elaine. But they don't know exactly where to look here. Her position is unknown, and the orb is going to make stuff even more rougher as well. The commitment of that Viper wall is in fact going to bring in the rotation here for the side of for the side of Team Sovereign, but Ratatouille, she's watching the right thing at the right time and gets that kill. Afterglow as well, taking out Elaine. It's all in the hands of just Che. Gets one, spots a second, tries to take her down, and does manage it. In fact, both these players looking really, really low here. Equally low HP, 30 versus 26. The Spike finally going down, and it's going to come down to who can clutch it out better. And it's just going to come down to who can hit that shot first.
Oh, Afterglow's definitely got the advantage here. Knife barely misses its mark. So now Afterglow is not looking at the right angle. Oh no, Che's coming in from behind her. She's got the flash available, but she doesn't throw it out. It's gonna be so easy for Che. She does have the neural theft available, but I don't think she's got any corpses to work with. And the timing, it's gonna work out perfectly for Che. Off the back of the cage play. And we're back to square one here, Zach. 9-9 is the scoreline. Sovereign don't want to give away Breeze.
I always play high stakes.
She always does play high stakes. Cypher has it right because that's a huge clutch coming in for Che right there. You know, because it's gonna equalize scores, and more than that, it's going to put the side of TSD into a lot of pressure here. 1v3, in fact, that clutch is going to be incredibly massive for the side of Sovereign. Exactly the kind of boost they needed, and it's gonna be demoralizing as well for the side of their Shreds here. Again, looking there, it is gonna be a little bit of a rough by here. Ratatouille's only being able to afford half armor, and meanwhile the side of Sovereign looking quite comfortable. 9-9 right now. It seems like they just want to go in for a very straightforward A push. Viper wall goes up, utility comes through. Reyna also pops her Empress, so you know Joey might be able to capitalize on the back. Again, Shabi doing so much damage. She's gotten so many first splits this game. It's insane. And oh my god, Afterglow getting Joey down might be everything they need. Shabi takes on Lucidity as well. Just one player left again in a 1v3. This time Elaine having to clutch it out. And I don't know, man. She just seems like she's gonna be caught in a really awkward position. But
45 HP.
never mind. She takes down Shabi.
Just have the Viper spit, and if she isolate these angles, she might just be able to, the way Chet did in the last round. But yeah, it's not looking very doable here for Elaine. She doesn't have the luxury of time. She's just going to back off. And you know what I'd like to call that push from Thirst Reds there, Zach? It's the solo queue push. It's a classic solo queue push. Send your chamber down in Hall, and then the rest of your members down in A with a standard Viper's wall, such as this one for Thirst Reds, and go for the quick A site execute. Recon bolt down into backside to clear up those angles as well and challenge the Viper's wall. And hey, they make it work. I mean, that's the reason why it's used a lot in solo queue. Gonna force out the timeout from Sovereign as well as well, it is due for them for a timeout because their bank has been broken right now, and it's quite curious to see because despite Sovereign really winning a lot of the past couple of rounds against Thirst Reds, it's Thirst Reds still with the better bank just because of just how much consistent rounds they've won in the second half, and the scoreline reflects it. I mean, remember the first half ended in this 5-7 scoreline with TST at the deficit. Now they're in the double digits, and they might be pushing it to the cusp of match point. Well, if well, actually it's TST with the timeout. curious.
I think it's pretty good. It's a pretty good timeout because they do have the advantage here. They do have those rifles, and of course,
Mhm.
even if Shabi doesn't really have money, she does have the tour de force available. So I think this is a good timeout for them, not just because of the fact that they won the last round, but also because they know that their opponents are gonna be on a little bit of a broken buy. So they want to decide
Yeah.
exactly how they want to capitalize on that. And looking at it so far, it seems like they are going to be going in for a mid push this time. Very clever, mid and A push, and I think that the side of Sovereign has also read it quite well because look at the
Uh-oh.
position of these players.
The
Three
pings.
people playing super aggressively here. It's gonna make things really awkward, but the read is really good because that is going to catch out at least one or two
Cave.
players, and they don't know that they've all crossed over here, but the possibility remains, and they're just going to be falling back, narrowly missing each other, and the race is on towards the B site. Just the Cypher there left to hold the fort. Of course, he does have a little all of the traps and all of the cameras and stuff. That Viper will coming in is also going to be some information given away that Che knows that they are coming in towards the site here, but nevertheless, it might not be enough. Also, ooh, that tripwire is going to be Weeby taken down because of that through the cage here. 4v5 right now. Lucidity already making her way onto the site here. Gets one, but Afterglow gets the trade. The Hunter's Fury as well being committed, but Afterglow is just insane here. Again, popping the KOO to shut down the utility from these players. 3v3 retake, and the timer is ticking.
Oh, here we go.
Oh no.
Marshall in the hands of Ray. Not really a lot to work with here for the last three members of Sovereign. And the no command as well to fight against. No utility for the time being, but now they finally got their util. But do they have the time? Recon bolt at the ready, but is Ray actually going to use that? No, she wouldn't be able to. As Shabby picks up Ray. Now it's 2 versus 1. Elaine called upon so many times, but does she have it in her to go for a second clutch this time? So far, 53 health. Shabby has the ult up, but is she going to use it this time? Poison Orb comes out. All Shabby's got to do is spam and push, and she's going to do that! Gets the headshot on top of it as well. Oh, she narrowly wins the round. And Thirst Reds 1 away from match point.
It's gonna be 11-9. So close this map, and again, last round it was a buy. Even though it should have ideally been an eco, it was a buy coming. So again, they're gonna be at a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to weaponry. Sovereign not looking very good right now. They do have the Blade Storm for Lucidity to use though, and we saw what the opponent Jet Ratatouille could do. So Lucidity, you know, if she can pull off the same kind of heroic maneuver, it might be exactly what her team does. But that knife from Afterglow is immediately almost gonna shut her down. Will push her off the angle, in fact, and it's just gonna be a free road down towards double doors here as they go towards the ace side. The wall as well is gonna keep Elaine alive. Shabi will take down Joy as well. That's the first split coming through. Elaine, the only person left here, has to try and keep things from going completely sideways. Gets one and does a little bit of damage onto Dumpling as well. Lucidity will take down Dumpling in the meantime.
What?
It's gonna come down to just Shabi in this 1v2. Managed to pick up the rifle. Has to go for the reload though. She will have to cancel it though, and all the utility in the world is being spammed at her as Ray 2 takes her down.
Wow.
What a quick round. Fast plays coming in. Elaine, the most unlikely hero of the round there. Always check your corners, ladies and gentlemen, because if you don't, that's exactly what's gonna happen to you.
I mean, when it comes to these points where Thirst Reds are just going for these rushes, Sovereign are eventually going to catch up, and that they do. Even with the hefty investment into this round, Shabby had the true force, which has always been so consistent for Thirst Reds, but since they lost the round, since they just fell down one by one in those short-range fights, they get punished big time. Look at their eco attack. It's finally broken, and Sovereign is about to push us into potentially overtime, or perhaps they could overtake Thirst Reds right now.
Might be the case here because this is the kind of break they really needed. And you know, the thing is that even if they can't get the equalizer, they'll have to do it with as many guns as possible intact, because otherwise their bank is going to be the same state as their threats here. It's gonna be Lucidity who gets the first kill here, tries to repick the angle, gets one, and will in fact get the second as well somehow. Afterglow going down to her, still holding the angle, trying to re-aggress now, and it's gonna be mid where 3 players are concentrated, and gets a third. What a flick coming in from a dashes in yet again. 4 on the ace here, but the reload is really unfortunate. J2 will trade her out, but That is going to be round number 11 on board for Sovereign. This map being a bloodbath here. Push and shove, both teams digging as deep as they can to keep it going. Rounds alternating quickly. And it seems like we have quite a matchup on our hands here, Matt.
Tooth and nail, both teams still kicking here. And it cannot get closer than this, Zach, because look, both teams finally gonna get the reinvest into their hands. Both teams have got their Viper Spits up as well, but this operator might be the game changer here for Sovereign. Lucidity has been having a beautiful couple of rounds, but Ratatouille is just gonna shut her dreams away. And the Viper Spit's gonna be called upon for Sovereign, so now Thirst Reds have got the upper hand. Whoever pulls the Viper Spit first, as we all know, has got the deficit. And they could just rotate into A and invest the Viper Spit there. Play off of this space that's already been claimed by Shabby down in Hall. And they're good to go.
I think they still do want to go towards this B site, though. They are holding towards mid, seeing if anyone's going to be doing anything a little bit stupid. Shabby with the team feed! Oh, what a play coming in from Vertate, who was too preoccupied with all the stuff going on towards mid to really bother looking here. And they're all just going to run through mid and spawn to go into the go into the A site. They have it for absolutely free after that pick. And yep, it does seem like the side of Sovereign might have to go in for a save unless they can get some quick kills, because they have no control. They don't have the advantage, and that's gonna be the Viper Spit invested to boot. So yeah, I think this round it's very unlikely that Sovereign can pull it back from where it is right now. They are probably just gonna try and get the operator and go in for the save if they can't do anything. And again, look at Afterglow though. She's gonna be caught off guard. Elaine takes her down 4v3 right now. Seems like they want to just go ahead and try to retake this, but so far they're having no dice here. Shabby takes yet down Joy as well. Ratatouille's position is known, but the rest of them not so much. And it's gonna be just one player, Ray, left all alone in her lonesome 1v4, and Dumpling will take her down. That's match point for Team Thirst Reds, who are looking extremely bloodthirsty right now.
Ray was 1 HP and she got headshot. Talk about overkill.
Overkill.
And well, Lucidity has been having a beautiful couple of rounds with just the assault rifle. They had to put her on the operator, hoping that it's what's eventually going to make Sovereign take over the game. But it did the exact opposite. Maybe they should have just put Lucidity back on the Vandal, where she's been so good at in the past couple of rounds. But because of that, she's punished big time in terms of creds, and is forced to play a Spectre this time. I mean, she's 1 kill away from getting that Blade Storm, yes, but is she even going to get that with only a Spectre? She's gonna be even denied that orb. But I think she's going to be aggressive into it. No, she's not. She's backing off from it, so still no ult to work with for Lucidity.
Things looking pretty rough right now for the side of Sovereign. Sure, you might say it's still a 5v5, but their control is sort of lacking, especially with this mid being extremely aggressed upon by not just 1 but 2 players here. Third as well, Afterglow, they've learned their lessons. They know that there's a quick flag possibility coming in from the doors, and she's just gonna be watching this angle, possibly being able to take the Lucidity if Lucidity doesn't clear that their way. Though it seems like they do want to make their way towards the B side here. Poison Orb from Elaine will stop them for just a bit, but it might not be enough. And look at the position of these players, all of them towards mid here. If there is a crossfire between Lucidity and anybody from towards mid there, it might be the game changer. But again, it's gonna be Lucidity who has to hold down the fort here. It's a Tulis versus Lucidity, Jet versus Jet, and the first pick is in Tekken. In fact, almost deserved, but Vivi is there for the trade. Vivi, in fact, getting 2. That's gonna be 3v3 yet again. The recon bolt will spot her out, but it seems like Shabby though, she's got the pick onto Elaine, waiting in the right place at the right time, and that's the B side open yet again. The rotation coming through from Team Thirst Reds. It seems like it's all over almost for the side of SVR. Left in a 2v3 retake. Spike going down. Zero control, and unless they can take down Shabby, things look really bad. But Shabby, she's too smart to be baited by that double peek with that glowing champions bundle. She is gonna TP away, and it's again 3v3. They don't have much utility to work with either. They do have a shock dart. They do have a leer as well. I don't think it's gonna be enough here. Again, that poison orb from Dumpling buying so much time, and of course, if they do decide to walk through, it's gonna be the debuff coming in as well. Off the back of that leer, Joy will be able to take down Shabby. They know the position of Dumpling as well, and it's gonna be 2v2 right now.
Clear? Oh, they cleared the angle. Dumpling falls. That's gonna leave Wooly all alone, but lo and behold, Hunter Fury comes out. Is she going to take out Ray Ray? Oh, they get the tag. Beautiful double play here for Sovereign. And they're gonna force overtime here, Zach. What a turn of events that was.
Switching sides.
I believe that was a 2
Overtime.
versus 4. And Sovereign, they managed to scrape that win, force us into overtime, and off the back of this Lucidity Spectre play. Again, Lucidity comes up huge in these rounds. Oh.
Yeah, that 2v3 was phenomenal. I genuinely thought it was over. And of course, just a little bit of a miscalculation coming in there from Weeby on the Sova. The Hunter's Fury, it's enough, but it's not enough because there's just enough time left on the clock for both players to each stick half. And that was that there. Also, after that overheal, Joy did have enough HP to tank that Hunter's Fury. And the defuse did come through. And of course, overtime, the Sovereign does not want to give this up. They are fighting tooth and nail to take this to a map 3, which is going to be Icebox if it does come through. So again, this aggression from the Tatulis towards Elbow here, you can see that the Sovereign is waiting for it. Che2 and Joy just waiting to see if they're going to be making the same mistakes. But I think that they've learned their lesson. They're just going to be holding, whichever team breaks the holding pattern first is going to be at a little bit of a disadvantage. And of course, the attackers have to do it sooner rather than later. So it might be an advantage going in for the side of their Threads here.
Oh, this time Sovereign really biding their time. They know that if they lose one member, it's gonna be absolutely massive. Ratatouille for the first touch. Wee trades it out, so DST walk off with a man advantage, but scratch that Lucidity picks up Wee. So 3 versus 3 still. Really, these girls fighting with everything they've got now. Thirst Reds. Oh, gonna have to bank on Dumpling all alone down in this B site. She hears a lot of these noise being made. She's gonna walk off just behind the Viper's wall.
Charges left.
They got no clue of this, but they've claimed that real estate already. We're gonna have to go into post plant here,
30
Zach.
seconds left.
They do have both Ray and Elaine alive, so post plant is definitely a possibility. Also, if Elaine manages to get just one more kill, that's gonna be the Viper Spit available, making the retake even more harder right now. They know that there are these 2 players coming in from CT, and the thing is that they have Shabi alive, so definitely that might be the impact maker. And Lucidity, she's gonna be getting the kill into Afterglow. Perfect timing there, all down to Shabi in this 1v2, but it's not gonna be happening as Lucidity with the 3k closes things out. 13 to Sovereign, 1 away from
Switching
winning,
sides.
and if they can manage to hold on this defense and, you know, really just get one more round, we are going to be heading into a map 3 today.
I wonder how... It's just so close between these 2 teams here, Zach. It's gut-wrenching, essentially. But at the end of the day, Lucidity again comes up massive. And really, she has been the rock that Sovereign has been relying on in these clutch moments. But Thirst Reds, they gotta be feeling tired now. I mean, look at Shabby. 33 kills and counting, but still, it's not enough for them to get the advantage in this game. Really is a testament to just how much fight Sovereign has put up in this game. Oh my gosh, timeout comes out, and Thirst Reds gotta be feeling that fatigue now. They fought so hard to get to this point that it's just more of the same. The Thirst Reds, I wonder what they're gonna bring up next. How are they going to shut down Lucidity? Because it seems like Lucidity, no matter what gun you put her on, Vandal, Spectre, she's just going to take over these rounds.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. And the fact that on this defense they didn't put her on the optics this time, they've learned their lesson. Don't fix what isn't broken. Lucidity is doing fine on the Vandal, so just let her play on that instead. And it does seem like that is going to be the play here. Again, Lucidity solo holding down mid here. I think that they do expect her to be around here, so she is going to be detected and suppressed. No more dash available for her, but lucky for her, she hadn't triggered it anyway, so she is still going to be able to hold down mid. And this is by far the ploy that the side of Thirst Red really favor, taking mid control and pushing in based off of that. The Viper wall will come through as well. Bit of spam coming through, but won't really do much damage. Ratatouille, she's going to be peeking first, will do a lot of damage to Joey, who will be falling back here really, really low. And in the meantime, Shabi, she's going to push her way on and take down Che2. region. That's gonna be the cipher down. No more information, no more tripwires. And
Lucidity!
Lucidity though from the
Player
mid,
standing.
3 kills, pulls out the Blade Storm, but Ratatouille is there for the kill. 1v2 right now. Elaine, if she can clutch this, if she can close it out, it is going to be the round for her team. And she manages to do a lot of damage, in fact, for Ratatouille's, but doesn't get the kill. So it is going to be 1v2 right now, and they know her position. So they have to get the spike implanted. That's the thing. They do manage to get their hands on it, and the spike should be going down. And look at Shabby's position here. I don't think they know exactly
Spike
where these
planted.
players are. So it's going to make Elaine's job all the more harder. Both of them playing together as much as they can. And she knows now. She knows, and she has to try and get this clutch for her team. Otherwise, we're just going to be heading into another overtime here.
Lane's got so many angles to watch out for. She doesn't really know that both of them are in that corner, which is
enemy
why she's very
remaining.
iffy. What a shot that was! But Shabby for the trade, and Lane falls. Oh my God,
Switching
Zach, I'm
sides.
losing my mind.
Overtime.
What
I
was
stopped breathing.
What was that shot?
Oh.
But at the end of the day, it's Thirst Reds to close out the round with a man advantage there. Lucidity comes up huge. Elaine with a nasty shot, but the lack of information is gonna make sure that Thirst Reds are gonna bounce back. 13-13, and we go again here, Zach. Oh my goodness. Oh,
Go again indeed, and it's once again the side switch. It's going to be the side of Thirst Reds on defense now, and it seems like it seems like Sovereign wants to hit that B side because everybody's here for the party, just ready to head in, and it's gonna come down to Dumpling and Wee Wee to try and keep the side from being overrun. You see Ray Ray just waiting with that Sova utility. The Viper Wall will come down as well. Poison Orb coming through. That's gonna stop any kind of push, but look at the push from Lucidity here. She's gonna be Dumpling's gonna be caught off guard trying to break that recon. And that's going to be the initial advantage going in the favor of Team Sovereign here off of that first pick. Spike will go down as well, so the retake is on 4v5 right now. And look at the position of Lucidity here with that little bit of an updraft peak. It might be all the difference. And Ches goes unchecked. If she peeks, she's gonna get one, even two, but nope, she's gonna get one and will be forced to fall back. But she's just gonna be holding, seeing if anybody else is gonna be coming through. That shock dart doing quite a bit of damage, but it seems like once again this round is gonna be going in the favor of Team Thirst Reds here. I'm sorry, Team Sovereign here. Yep, 14-13. And we are heading into another round where if they can close out the
Switching
defense, they
sides.
close out the map.
Match
you
point.
can see their Thirst Reds, they're getting sloppy with their attack. I mean, it's the second time where they get flanked on in this overtime. The first one, if you remember, was from Lucidity on that play. It's picking up 3 for free. This time, it was Che who left unchecked. I mean, just send one member watching from behind. Perhaps just leave a trap wire and the lurk will be taken care of. But Thirst Reds, you can see they're getting iffy. It was flawless. Their gameplay earlier was flawless, but Sovereign has cracked them. They're faltering. Their fortitude is falling. And Thirst Reds, they're getting exhausted. You can see it. Let's see if they're gonna fall prey to that same shenanigan. Nobody holding the line here down from elbow. Finally, they send someone watching for it. That's Afterglow. But really, she's got 2 angles still to watch out for. And they swarm B site. So finally, they take control of site without losing any members.
A little bit of a top scare coming in for Ratatouille's there, but look at the lurk here. Oh no, Afterglo's gonna be
again.
caught off guard and doing a little bit of damage to Weeby as well. Weeby in a really bad position here as she barely manages to jump her way into sight. Both players on the flank, and it is gonna make things really rough right now. The recon coming through as well is going to put Ratatouille's in a rough spot. Gets one, gets two, but it's gonna come down to just one player left. Elaine again left in a 1v3 clutch, gets one, but we're gonna be heading into another overtime here. For a second, it looked like
Wow.
Sovereign had it close, but
Overtime.
I
nope.
know.
The sprays and the crossfire is just proving too deadly for them to finish.
Dumpling was huge in that round. So was Ratatouille's position. Could have been the bait of the existence right there for Sovereign. But no, so Ratatouille's wasn't really called upon because Dumpling was just massive on that phantom play. And we go again here, Zach. This is the gift that keeps on giving. I'm losing my mind. These girls really don't want to give this game away. Sovereign fighting with everything they've got. So his Thirst Reds. Oh, really just comes down to the fundamentals now. Whoever makes the least mistakes who are going to advance. And Thirst Reds, they gotta be careful. They have to watch out these flanks. And speaking of flanks, Sovereign's loot sending 3 members to come up from behind as the execute now happening. It's Lucidity leading the charge down here, but she gets shut down with Lily picking up 2. Still alive and kicking Dumpling down to 6 health. She's still got a foothold down here in B site as a plant. Getting denied by that fact. Dumpling finally gonna fall down from courtesy of Ray, but finally here comes the flank to hit. Spike goes down, Shabby picks up 2, and Ratatouille's to close out the round. TST pick up the advantage on the overtime.
Oh, this is looking
Switching
really bad
sides.
for Sovereign because they've
Match
been having
point.
so much trouble when they've been trying to defend here, and so far they haven't won a single defense on this overtime here. It's all been attack, and now that they've lost that 2, things it looks like finally their Shreds can close out this map if they play this properly, and I think that's exactly what they're planning to do. 15-14, so close but so far away because if they lose, guess what it's gonna be, Matt? Yet another overtime. Either way, though, it seems like they want to go in for a sort of mid push. But look at Lucidity. She doesn't care. She's going to be playing super aggressively here. Hasn't been caught yet. Gets 1, gets 2, gets 3! Lucidity popping off with that Blade Storm as well. Single-handedly keeping the dream alive. Spots another player. Gets 4! She's on the ace right now. Just 1 player left to find. And it's going to be Shabby who takes her down. No ace for Lucidity. But I think that is going to be the round for Sovereign.
Oh no, again! They leave 1 angle unchecked! And they get
Switching
bit back
sides.
for it!
Overtime.
Thirst Reds! Oh, at this point you have to start questioning just... The recon ball, the mid push. I'm losing my mind, Zach. They have to watch out those angles. Literally, Lucidity could come from anywhere. You'd think Thirst Reds have learned their lessons by now, but no, it's the 3rd time that they've been pushed upon in an unexpected angle just because nobody was watching it. And the recon as well, it spots out everyone, so perhaps they should have backed off, but they stayed in that very same angle. And oh my lord. We go back again, 15-15.
I'm just imagining the sheer mental perseverance you would need to keep playing after getting wailed upon by like that by Lucidity. I feel like Sovereign, that was a much needed morale boost for Sovereign here, who are again making their way towards mid and A. Elaine has dropped her Odin to the Silva. Ray has it in fact right now. So it's interesting to see that people go in for an Odin pick on this map. It's not exactly
Ideal.
to play with Lucidity though. She's gotta get that first pick onto Wee Wee here, and it's gonna be Ratatouille's though who has to fall off the angle, but still manages to push back. So you never know, it might work out. But
Lucidity.
in the meantime, Lucidity is wrecking havoc towards mid, gets 1, and that's gonna call the rotation through here. Spike is on its way towards the B side, and it should be going down soon.
They have to play together. They have to weed out Lucidity before she finds more
30
damage.
seconds
She's
left.
still full health. Oh my goodness. Afterglow falling down as well, so this round is looking done and dusted for Sovereign. And Lucidity once more finds a crack that Thirst Reds left unchecked. Dumpling, ever so careful, but still can't be too careful of Lucidity's hideabout. Ratatouille's finally shutting down the counterpart Jet, but by then the damage has already been done. Sovereign put themselves 1 ahead up
Switching
again.
sides. Match point.
I would like to draw attention to the scoreboard here, Matt.
Oh
Both Xavi and Lucidity pushing 40, 38, 39. Really digging as deep as they can to go forward in this matchup. But this might be the round where Sovereign can possibly close it out here. They do have the morale boost. They do have the advantage here. They just need this 1 round to end things up here. And it seems like Thirst Red is changing their plan. Instead of heading towards mid, they're gonna go towards B instead. And it seems like they want to go as fast as they can as possible. But look at Lucidity here.
Again.
Oh no, she just pushes through elbow, gets that first pick onto Wee Wee. That is going to be no more solo utility available, no recon, no shock dart, nothing. Dumpling finally getting 1, but Joy is there for the trade. Just all in the hands of Dumpling and Afterglow. 2v3 right now, but Elite is really low, so it's not over until it's over. But Lucidity on the flank gets 1, all in the hands of Dumpling. 1v2 right now. has
But
it's just one away from the Viper's pit, and she
yeah,
does have the spike, so it's not over, but it looks pretty close to over.
and this might be it here. Lucidity falling means that it might be potentially doable for Dumpling, but it's just seemingly a ginormous task. It's too big of shoes to fill. Phantom in hand, no more wall to work with. And Toxin's going up. It's gonna signal the move happening here for Dumpling. She's just waiting for this orb to go down. Elaine is 1 HP, so all it takes is one bullet. Dumpling, will she check this
30
corner?
seconds left.
It seems like she won't! And that's it!
Defenders
Sovereign! They
win.
push us into game number 3.
I don't know about you, Matt, but I'm pretty exhausted after watching that game. Oh,
Oh, 17 to 15, Sovereign, they force game number 3. And I gotta give credit where credit is due. Lucidity obviously was huge in that game, but the recon bolt always on point for Ray to permit those big plays coming in for Lucidity. Man, these two teams. I can't wait to get into game number 3 where we're going into Icebox, Zach.
oh, I really, really feel for these players. Like the amount of stamina you have to play like this, it's insane. Let's take a look at what exact numbers have these players managed to rack up, especially Lucidity as well as Shabi. Looking at it so far, it seems like Lucidity is
Wow.
going to be this match's MVP. 40 kills on the board. She managed to drop the 40 bomb to take Sovereign and the rest the to map 3 Icebox here. And of course Shabi, she did her best. 39 just to 1 away. I feel kind of bad. I wish we'd gone into another overtime just so that we could have seen Shabi drop that 40 bomb as well. But either way, it is going to be 17-15 Sovereign moving on, pushing this to a map 3. And the side of their Threads, they have to be feeling the pressure now, because it
Yeah.
seemed like they were pretty confident that they could close it out 2-0. But the fact that they are heading into a map 3 after the prolonged battle on Breeze, it's gonna make things a bit rough for them.
Yeah, and I gotta commend Sovereign as well. When we criticize them a lot for their choice of composition, always going for the double duelist, despite the lack of utility that it offers, but just a single tiny adjustment from Chamber into Cypher really made a massive difference going into this game. I mean, gotta commend the utility usage from all of these players from Sovereign. We already said Ray, always on point on the recon, especially on the second or in the overtime match where Lucidity was just everywhere. Thirst Reds. I mean, at a certain point, you can absolutely see the exhaustion coming through into the screen for Thirst Red. I mean, when you perform at the top level for so long, you're bound to get tired at some point. But do they have left? Do they have enough left in the tank to close this series out, or has Sovereign gotten the better of them? We'll find out after just a short break. If you're just tuning in, my name is Zayd. I'm casting with Zach. We'll see you guys for the last game of the day.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Zach, and with me here is Matt Datum, and we are your casters for this series of Valorant APAC Open for Game Changers, and it is going to be Thirst Threads versus Sovereign, map number 3. We saw map number 1, 13-2, going quickly in the favor of Thirst Thread, but the second map, Sovereign, pushed back, and after an absolutely brutal battle on Breeze, they are going to take it 15-13, 15-17, multiple overtimes, but after Lucidity's heroics, they finally close it out. The decider for the day is going to be Icebox. So, Matt, what do you think?
It's the last game of the day, and I expect nothing less than an absolute bloodbath between these two teams. The first game, as you mentioned, was a pretty deciding match for Thirst. I mean, decisive rather. That's the term I'm looking for Thirst. And then the second, at a certain point, it just felt like Thirst wanted to get the game over with, and by then, Sovereign just capitalized on their mental state, and then Lucidity came online, pushed us into overtime time and time again, and now we're going into Icebox. Who'd have thought we'd get to this point with that performance from Thirst Reds from Fracture? I mean, I didn't certainly, Zach. I don't know about you, but going into this matchup, what are you gonna be expecting? Because honestly, for me, I don't even know what to expect anymore.
I don't know what to expect either, but I went and pulled up the stats for Icebox here. So for Sovereign here, they do have a very decent success rate, and again, it's a map where they do run that double duelist combo, which we saw really pay off for them last time. So definitely a map where they would want to capitalize on that again. It is they usually do run the Jet Reyna. I think both times it has been Jet Reyna so far. So definitely something that I'm looking forward to seeing here on this map, and they have a pretty good win rate. Their Threads, they're slightly below. They have less than a 50% rate, but the thing is that A, they run the meta comp, and B, the teams that they've played against are all teams that have qualified for playoffs multiple times. Like they've lost to teams like Team SNG and Team X and Crit, so not really a good statistic to base off of if you're gonna just compare win rates by percentage. So I think it's gonna come down to this. It's gonna come down to which team manages to pull off their agent comp better, because when you're playing a meta comp, you want to be patient. You want to not just play off of heroics, but also play off of team play. And if their Shreds can manage that, well, they would have an advantage. But on the opposite side, if the dynamic duo of the Jet and Reyna can pull off some heroics, well, Sovereign might be moving on to the upper brackets.
I can't say if it's that or lucidity absolutely popping off. And that's the thing, right? You never know what you're going to get between these two teams. I mean, you saw it earlier. The MVP of the match was lucidity, just by one kill is the advantage that she got over, well, the opposing chamber, and really just a testament to how close this series is. But it makes you wonder why the first game was a little bit more decisive than, well, the entirety of the series, right? But I think mostly it's because um by the second game, Sovereign really just got into the heads of Thirst Reds, because you could see that at some point Sovereigns was just reading them left and right, knowing where they're going to aggress. And when it really came down to it, Thirst Reds, they're more of a team that opts for sheer guts and firepower, rather when it comes to those moments where they've exhausted their playbooks. They're just going down into the fundamentals. I said it earlier, the solo queue special down in Breeze, where you send 4 members down in A main and 1 in Hall. And while they did make it work, they weren't able to make it work consistently, especially towards the end, where they were getting a little bit careless, I would say, with the flanks and the recons. I mean, typically when you get spotted by the recon, you break the bolt and you walk back, because you would expect someone to push that, right? But no, Thirst Reds, they got a little bit more lax, I would say, and they permitted a part of that success that Lucidity found in the overtime.
Definitely, and I think especially that last round, it was a little bit of a bit of unfortunate placement as well, because I think the chamber did put down, Shabi did put down her trademark towards elbow, but she put it a bit ahead, so it let Lucidity push up further than she should have and get that free pick onto the Sova there. Weeby going down there was really a huge thing because it kept them from having any kind of advantage when it came to recons and stuff. And more than that, it's just got to be demoralizing to die like that.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
either way, it was so close. 17-15 is nothing to scoff at. So hopefully, third map that we're going into, we get something that's, well, if not overtime, at least close. Because I love watching a nice challenging map here. So anyway, I think we are gonna be heading into Agent Select pretty soon. So let's see if Thirst Threads can bring back the same kind of energy and performance they had on their first map, or will Sovereign slug it out to win it all?
Let's see, both teams seem to have a pretty defined agent comp here. The key difference being that Sovereign, as we know that they love going for those double duelists, goes for just that, the Reyna into the Jet. Sort of a testament to the prior meta in Icebox, or what some would like to call the Paper Rex special. But for for Thirst Reds, they've shifted towards, as I mentioned, the more updated version of that, where they go for a chamber in replacement for Reyna, but everything else stays the same. And it seems like that's what we're gonna be getting now. So really, it's a stark contrast between the personalities of these two teams.
So the thing is, I think that for this map, it is going to be if I'm not wrong, let me just check who's going to be starting off on attack here. It is going to be Sovereign, in fact, starting off on attack here. So
Mhm.
definitely looking at the comp they're running, it is a little bit of an advantage with the double duelist, but they also have to be really careful because unless they have a player constantly on the lurk or making sure that they don't get flanked, it's gonna be really easy for them to get flanked, especially because they're not running a chamber or a cipher or any kind of control. I'm sorry, any kind of sentinel, in fact.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see here, Zach. But what do you think? Do you think Thirst Red will be able to find that composure that they had in Fracture? Because honestly, it doesn't make sense for them to win by that much and then uh get outrun in the second game, only to find themselves in the third game where they still arguably have the upper hand in terms of statistics. Because um if you take a look at it, Thirst Reds, this is a map where sure, they don't really have a lot of experience on tournament wise, but the same can be said on Fracture and Breeze. And in that regard as well, they have pretty similar stats compared to Sovereign when it comes to Icebox, albeit Sovereign a little bit better in that regard. But then again, you could Sovereign's only got 5 maps on record, or 5 games on record in Icebox. And even though they've got a little bit of a higher win percentage, you can't really base off of that in such a small sample size. 5 games is not a lot.
Completely agree about that. And of course, again, like you have to consider who they're playing against as well. So definitely it's gonna come down to which team can prove their mettle here on Icebox, especially considering the Asian comps both these teams are running. They're suited for their positions. Like the comp that the side of Thirst Threads is running, it's ideal for defense. You have a chamber, you have a stage, you want to build off on that. On the opposite side, if you are gonna be running a double duelist on attack, you also want to capitalize on that as well. So definitely it's going to come down to the first half. Whoever can pick up a significant advantage just seem like they can take it forward going into the rest of the game here. So I'm pretty interested to see if that is going to be the case here because again, when you swap sides and you're gonna have two duelists on defense, it's gonna make holding the fort down a lot harder, especially since you don't have a chamber or even a killjoy to solo hold a site. You have to play 2-2, and it's gonna make, if their threats can capitalize on that and just do have like a strong defense in the first half, it might be everything they need. Either way, though, I think we're gonna be heading into the game soon. So drop your predictions in and let's head into it.
I'm kind of seeing a pattern here, Zach. Whenever I'm looking at the stats that Thirst Reds have won during their Icebox runs, and whenever they're ahead on the defending side, that's when they win. 100% of the games, if they are ahead on the defense, they're gonna win. If they're behind on the defense, they're 100% of the time they are going to lose it. So really, it really shows you just how much this team playing on defense regardless of map. And Icebox singing that tune also true as well. So Thirst Reds, they've got everything banking on this defense, but with this quick execute coming in from Sovereign, not punished at all yet by Thirst Reds, might just be the bane of their existence though. pick up one kill apiece, and Dumpling just hesitating to go for that defuse. But now that she's got the wall up and her teammates backing her out, she's gonna go for the half stick here, and now she's gonna jump down out. 3K for Che. Now looking for more on the Frenzy. 15 bullets left on the Frenzy, and she's got the 4 now. Ratatouille's is the last in her crosshair. And Joey will be the one to close it out in the first round, going the way of Sovereign.
That was a really fast and really nice execute coming in from Sovereign. It shows that they've prepped for it, they have the stats ready, and they know what to do here. Especially Che coming up huge that round, already halfway through the resurrection here with her grabbing that. And for a second, it seemed like Dumpling could get the stick, but unfortunately, the person coming in through mid was going to prevent that. And of course, really important kills coming in. And unfortunately for her, the ace is gonna be denied. Multiple 4Ks coming in. I'm just wondering to see if we're gonna be seeing an ace on Icebox as well, because so far we've seen at least one ace on both of the maps that we've headed into. So maybe we'll see one on Icebox as well.
Perhaps. I mean, the day started pretty slow. No aces. It was 4K, but that's the height of it. But now, Thrifty's flawless on top of flawless on top of ace on top of ace, and we're now in game number 3. Elaine though for the 3K against 3 members of TST. Lucidity to pick up Afterglow afterwards. Wee the last one. And Sovereign to close it out. Wee doesn't have it in her to find any more damage. 2-0 on the board. Sovereign off to a pretty good start off of the back of a pretty hefty investment on Lucidity and Joey. And well, so far it's Che who's been having a blast in this game. 4-0 on the board.
Definitely. And of course, Elaine, you have to talk about her 3K towards mid. They're doing a lot of damage, I would say, for the side of Sovereign. This is going to be, I don't even think it's going to be, it's going to be a bit of a bonus, but they do have 2 rifles as well as 3 Spectres on board. So side of Sovereign definitely looking like they can capitalize on the firepower coming in from their duelist here. And of course, Dumpling is going to make a pretty aggressive push towards mid to be able to wall that up so that she doesn't have to worry about kitchen or even mid there. Meanwhile, they'll look at Afterglow's position. We'll spot one. Manages to get the shot and stays alive. 78 HP left on her, so you know it's still very much doable. But Lucidity is there for the trade. Spike is dropped, and she will have to retrieve it here. Just managed to grab it and dash. And in the meantime, it seems like they want to head towards this ace side here. Joey already spotting out Shabby here, but Shabby somehow getting both the kills. Advantage towards the side of Team Thirsty Reds now, and the heal is coming through as well. So Shabby still looking reasonably healthy, all things considered.
Yeah, 4 versus 2, Elaine and Lucidity. Well, the hero buy from Joey not really working out to their expectations. Sovereign yet to get the spike down against this crossfire happening down in mid and screens. Shabby doesn't have the faintest idea that she's getting pushed up, but the peak, and she gets taken down by Lucidity, who again claims that space for Sovereign. 2 versus 3. But you can never just count out Lucidity, can you?
Never is the word, and it's going to be 2v3 right now. Lucidity making her way forward, but gets spotted by the drone. Timing not exactly perfect, and yep, that's gonna be Weeby taking her down. It's gonna be coming down to Elaine, and there's not much she can do as Ratatouille will take her out of the game. It's gonna be a little bit expensive for the side of Thirsty Reds, but they should probably have enough money to get Shabby and Afterglow on rifles as well. So that's gonna be the bonus for Sovereign, not exactly working out in their favor, but they did do some eco damage. And I think they should have enough for another buy here. So all's good, all's well that ends well. First round finally on the board for Team Thirsty Reds here, and something that they really needed.
I mean, Lucidity, of course, has been forced to hit the brakes now by Wee, but there's a lot of avenue for Lucidity to pop off for the rest of the game. If you remember, Lucidity didn't really find her footing until the overtime commenced. And still pretty early on. 2-1 is the scoreline. And Thirst Reds picking up their first round is, of course, going to translate more into this if they find anything out of Shabby's position. But Sovereign off to a pretty good start in this B-side execute. They get the plant off without really losing any members.
Not just that, they also have the resurrection on right now from that plant ore, but Ratatouille, she's gonna make Lucidity pay for that excessive aggression, and now the body's in a place where you can't even resurrect it. So definitely the retake is on, and they're making quick time as well, clearing out all these angles extremely methodically. Helps that they also have the Sova drone left to try and clear this out, and the spike is tapped. It's gonna cause the wall to go down, and yep, Dumpling is able to take out that kill. Afterglow helping her out here, knows the position of at least one more player. It's just going to come down to the hands of Elaine, who is on the lurk. Diffuse though will come through half, and it's gonna be 1v2 left. In fact, Elaine just has to play the time here. So she's gonna try and stick it, and it's gonna come through. Throws the fake at Ratatouille's. Not only gets the diffuse, she also gets the final kill. That's just insult to injury at that point. Really, really good round. A nice try from Elaine, almost clutching out that 1v4, but unfortunately for her, well, it's going to nevertheless be the round going in the favor of Team Thirst Reds.
Yeah, so close though, Elaine. Could have made it work potentially if the spike was planted more towards her angle. But at the end of the day, that rotate that you make on the last second when you're planting the spike didn't really work out for her in that regard. So that's gonna punish Sovereign big time in terms of creds. Thankfully enough, Lucidity has got that blades going.
She's still gonna be.
Here is the scoreline. Yeah, they're gonna be trying to. Oh my gosh, Ratatouille's gets caught mid reload, and they might just get these upgrades right here with the tailwind here on Lucidity. But is she even going to commit that? I don't think so. With the blades just inching forward, Elaine about to get the headshot, but it's Dumpling who's got the better swing against Elaine. So 4 versus 4 now.
Yeah, the resurrection is available if they want to invest it this round for the side of Team Sovereign, but seeing that it's a little bit of a of an awkward position to get the resin, it's not exactly advised here. Dumpling as well, just 1 kill away from being able to get up one of her teammates as well. 4v4. It seems like they still want to go towards this B side, and it's gonna be Afterglow who has to try and stop this push here. I think if she peeks out, she might be able to catch Lucidity, and yep, she does manage to hit the angle perfectly. Che is there for the trade though, and that's gonna be probably the rest coming through. Yep, that is going to be Lucidity back in the game here. 4v3 right now. 3 players left to try and make this work, but Shabi does have that sort of force. Yep, that's the resurrection available. It's gonna be 3v4. The problem is that both the bodies are in rather unfortunate places. One is near yellow, and one is all the way towards B main, so it's not gonna be much use even if she does have the ultimate, unless one of these players towards CT who are pushing in with her die. The Sova Recon again coming through, trying to clear out these close angles. Is going to spot out the Reyna's position, but the reduced time on that cooldown is going to make things really rough here. And they're just going to be going towards the spike. The tap comes through, but Che2 will get it. It's all down to just Shabi here in a 1v3, in fact. Tries to get one, but nope. Che2 is going to get the 3k and close the round out for her team.
Yeah, I mean, an uncharacteristic miss right there for Shabi on that tour de force. She's been pretty consistent on these operators. Now she doesn't get the shot off at a pivotal 1v3. So Sovereign getting that round means that they're slowly rolling in with the momentum off the back of Chess 3K, who has been performing so well this game. 8-2 to 3 is not a score you would expect out of Sage this early on, but Shabi, just when we thought she wasn't gonna perform. She and Ratatouille pick up one apiece.
Well, that was an absolutely ratty play from her, so I don't blame you for that little bit of confusion. Absolutely dynamic down towards mid. Both Shabi and Ratatouille getting those kills. That's going to be two guns dropped, and they still have the resurrection on board here from Dumpling, so if they do want to push a bit forward and get those guns, they can. In the meantime, though, it's going to be Afterglow who's going to be playing this close angle with a Bucky of all things. It's not going to... Oh, she doesn't get spotted either. That's going to be the kill possibly coming through. Yep, gets one. Almost gets two, but raised there for the trade. And that's the A side taken right now. Spike fake right now, trying to see if she can get a kill or two. The Viper's pit is committed as well, so it is going to be 3v2. Sorry, 4v2 on the retake. Spike finally trying to go down here. Ratatouille, she's deciding whether she wants to push in or not here. Still, the rifle advantage is with these players. She wants it. She's hungry.
She wants it so bad.
Was she given?
It's a 4 versus 2, so they've got very little to lose. She knows the right click. Gets Ray. Elaine still alive and kicking. She was looking right at her. Okay, from up above, Elaine uses the snake bite. Might just get them both! And she does! 1 versus 1 now, and the Shabby's gonna come in from so far away. 1 HP left. Tap goes in. Uh-oh. And Elaine clutches it! Sovereign! What was that play off the Viper's Pit? Beautiful job from Elaine.
It was absolutely wonderful to see. I thought it was 2v4. It was 1v3. In fact, it seems almost impossible to clutch. But man, Elaine, that wraparound from Elaine, and the fact that she just decided not to. She jumped in, but she also managed to get both the kills just from her snake bite is phenomenal. It's really, really unfortunate for the side of Thirst Threads that they were playing so close together. Either way, that's the eco done with. They do have Ratatouille on the operator, but sadly for her, it seems like nobody wants to come towards the B site where both she and Shabby are trying to hold strong here. It does seem like they want to walk into A. They have, I think, given away the recon, so they do know that there's probably some presence here. They will hear the drone as well, and that's going to be the ult coming in from Afterglow. I really like this ult. I think I first saw it when I was watching Masters, and you saw this retake ult coming in from one of the, I think from Paper Rex. It was really, really clean. So it's going to make planting the spike a little bit more rough here for the side of Team Sovereign. And also the thing is the snake bites are also available. So even if they spot out one player, it's going to make things pretty easy. If you just toss it down, it's going to be a free kill. Wiwi though, she's going to take down her opposing. So 4v5 right now. Sunity gets spotted as well, but still stays alive. Luckily the trade is there from Wiwi, and it's going to be 4v2 right now. This time the Viper's Pit is on the opposite side though. Spike dropped as well.
As you mentioned, the Viper's Pit here doing wonders for Thirst Red, really denying a lot of these positions from Sovereign. They can't even get themselves into the spike, into the vicinity of the spike. Snake Bite gonna be there for Elaine to try and get a bit more of that real estate that they so entirely need, but the op from Ratatouille's is gonna rid Joey of her life, and Elaine too big of a task against her. Shorty in the hands of Ratatouille, so close. I think she hears the footsteps of Elaine, and once the curtains go down, oh, that looks scary for a sec, but Elaine, 31 HP, 1 bullet from any of these guns will do. But she doesn't want to save. She wants to contest this Viper's Pit and finally get that.
Oh no.
And she gets spammed out, of course.
I mean, when you're 1 bullet, you really don't want to go stomping around, but this time Elena is not going to get the clutch. Does manage to take the operator offline. I don't think the side of Thirst Threads had the time to go pick it up, so definitely did do wonders there. And it's good because the side of Sovereign still does have money to go in for a full buy here. It's only going to be Ray who is pushed onto half armor, but this is a round which either team has to try and make work, because otherwise it's whoever loses this is going to be pushed into an eco here, and that's not going to be very nice for them, obviously. Either way though, it seems like the side of Sovereign, they want to try and go for that A site yet again, and they have to deal with the dynamic duo of the Viper and the Sova, both playing really well here with that crossfire, making pushing in absolutely deadly. Thing is, if you take one down, you get the site more or less, so it depends to be seen if they can manage that. Lucidity, of course, if anyone can do it, she can. Absolutely being terrifying this map. The Lyra will come through. Gets 1, gets 2 somehow. Afterglow. What is that from you? And it's gonna be the Sova who falls back. Has the resurrection still available? Dumpling hasn't used it yet. Wiwi also takes down Ray. Advantage clearly going in towards the side of the defenders here. All down to Elaine, but Wiwi and Dumpling closing it out just after the glow who fell, and that was after those 2 headshots. I don't even know she meant to take down Joey there. That looked almost like an accident. I'm not sure.
That's a funny sentence to say. Wiwi takes out Ray. They're like Pokemon names.
I choose you. Sorry. I mean, that does seem to be the strat at this, like at least in the last map for Sovereign. It's basically the ideal going, I choose you, Lucidity, and just tossing her at the opponents.
Well, it seems like Ash isn't picking Lucidity yet. Instead, it's Elaine that's been the Pikachu here of Sovereign. Refuses to get.
I never thought I'd hear
into
that sentence in my life. The Pikachu of Sovereign, but I love it.
But so far, Sovereign, well, have had a rough couple of rounds off the back of the Viper split play from Thirst Reds. They haven't really been able to recover as their eco is back down in the dumps. So Thirst Reds, I mean, we've seen this time and time again. They bounce back, reclaim the advantage, only to give it back later on to Sovereign. And it's a pattern that we've seen so far for Thirst Reds. But don't want to jump into conclusions yet. Maybe this is the time where Thirst Red will become consistent with their momentum. Especially now that they've got the Resurrect up and ready. So essentially a 5 versus 5. 5 versus 6 in this round.
To be fair, they've had it for like I think 3 rounds now.
That's
It's just
true.
that all the teammates who die are all in really awkward positions. So poor Dumpling hasn't been really able to capitalize on it. Either way, though, it is going to be only the eco available. Sure, the Empress is there for Joey and the Hunter's Fury for Ray as well, but I don't know if they're really going to be choosing to use it. Especially look at Ratatouille's position, so close. It might backfire, honestly, because Lucidity, she has that Spectre, and we've seen her with the Spectre before. It was a heroic play on the Spectre that got us to overtime in the first place last round. She is going to be spotted out, though, but the headshot is clean from the Ratatouille's. Chabi as well there for the backup, getting 2 more kills on the A side. Finally, Joey takes her down after Glow, though, is going to get the trade. It's all in the hands of Joey, and I don't even think she managed to pick up that rifle, so it's just going to be her and her Sheriff against the world here. Not going to come to much as Dumpling takes her down, and it is going to be the lead going in for the side of Thirst Reds.
Yeah, apologies for the mishap there on the overlay. It's not a timeout still. We're already continuing in with the game, and Thirst Reds have picked up the round advantage. So it's just the consistency that we've been waiting for Thirst Reds. This next round is what's going to determine that, I believe. Chabi again put on the op, who has been so consistent the entire series, yet to find her footing in this game, but perhaps now is the time. Pushing up in mid as well. Dumpling, gets shut down by Jet. And the denial gets denied. They can push up mid now.
You know what Jet says, right? Whenever she kills her, is, "Aw, you can't res yourself." That's exactly the case there. As she goes down, Shabi though is gonna get the kill onto Lucidity. However, I like the side of Thirst Threads. The resurrection is still available for Che here, so they might just opt to circle back to that A site and get that resurrection. But never mind, they're just gonna go towards B. Afterglow has to hold down the fort here. That recon is going to spot her out and make her fall back here. Does have the smoke to work with, so she's gonna be playing inside that molly. That's a deadly game, and Joy is gonna take her down. 3v4 right now, and it seems like the rotation is still not coming through. They are just opting to go back towards the B side here. At the Tulis as well, holding down the fort, making the spike so hard to get planted, and it's 36 seconds left on the clock. They have to do something right now, but look at the position of Che here. Nobody expects her. Spots her at the Tulis, takes her down, and it seems that the hit is on. B side seems to be open.
Wee picks up one and then goes for the spike plant. Or rather, tries to deny the spike plant, but Ray already done with that. Oh, Elaine with the one tap onto Shabby. Wee really is isolated now. She gets the headshot onto Joey, but not a lot of avenue to do anything else here. Recon Bolt is gonna get denied by Elaine. She pushes up this Viper's pitch. She's gonna be 1 HP, but Elaine to shut her down right after that. And what I tell you, Zach, the consistency of these rounds, Thirst Reds hasn't really been able to find it. I mean, yeah, it was there for game number 1, but in game number 2, it was a pretty solid start for them, but now it's just rocky. It's just unconvincing right now for Thirst Reds.
I think that they agree with you, which is why we're going to be having a short timeout coming in from the side of Thirst Reds here. So I think that they do have the tour de force to play with, so they will still be able to go in for a full buy. But the economy for both these teams not looking very nice after this back and forth. It's been a constant back and forth, Matt. Neither team has been able to get an overt advantage. It's been like 3-3, 4-4, now it's 5-5. So seems like perhaps we'll head into another 6-6 half, just like Breeze here.
Perhaps. Unless, it is a pivotal round after all for Sovereign. They've got no bank to work with if they lose this round. So maybe Thirst Reds can squeeze out the 7-5 scoreline, especially off the back of this timeout. They must be planning something here. I mean, the last time we saw them in a pivotal timeout, they pulled out a pretty solid plan in Breeze. They wasn't able to execute it, of course, because they didn't get the read quite off. But perhaps if they did, things could have made an absolute difference there in map number 2. But regardless, they pull out the tour de force, and it's a 3-stack down in A. I wonder what they're planning to do here with the Res and the Hunter's Fury. Seems like the aggressive push down A. Being
Oh
noted
no.
though, Shabby with the tour de force. Ray gets scoped down. Uh-oh, but Elaine's ready for this push.
You will
They
not
push up a
kill
little
my
further.
ally.
Oh, she hears it. The updraft and the push now coming in. Elaine's head gets spotted, but it's Ratatouille's to get dinked. Nobody falling as of yet as Resurrect takes us into a 5 versus 5 still. And there you go, first contact, Afterglow and Dumpling pick up one apiece. Joey there for the trade, and the Res taking us into a 5 versus 3 now with the wall aiding their regard. And they're backing off TSC. Well, the aggression paid off.
That looked really scary for a second. It was all down to timing, and both the resurrections have finally been used within seconds of each other, I would say. And it seems like Weavy, though she has the positioning here, but never mind, Lucidity is just gonna take her down, mowing her down with that Phantom, and it's going to be a 4v3 retake right now. Advantage is towards Team Thirst Reds here, but I don't know if that's gonna be enough, because look at the aggression again coming in from the side of these players here from the side of Sovereign. I'm sorry, I got distracted by that beautiful headshot coming in from Lucidity. Again, trying to go on that ace, and immediately things turn around. Ratatouille's does get one, left in a 1v2, the 22 HP to her name. Again, hit by that debuff from that Viper wall. Things looking really rough right now. And yep, that's gonna be Elaine taking her down. 6th round in the favor of Team Sovereign. And this is the best part, they didn't even commit the Viper Spit here. They were so confident that they could win it off just their aim, that they have the Viper Spit to play with as well this round. Already, it's gonna be the side of the side of Thirst Reds on a little bit of a disadvantage when it comes to weapons. But more than that, it is going to be the side of Sovereign, which has not only a good economy, but also ultimates to play around with.
Again, it's just lucidity, man. It's just a lucidity show. I mean, I already credited Thirst Reds for the success that they found in that A main push, only again to be nullified by Lucidity's popping off. This time 6-5. It's Thirst Reds that's forced to get the buy. But luckily for them, their bank is built a little bit more than Sovereign this time. Viper Spit coming down for Sovereign. Hunter's Fury is going to take out Chet, so the spike has been spotted out, weeded out in the pit, but they're rotating. They don't want to play with the pit anymore.
And I think that the side of Thirst Reds has read it as well, because look at the rotation coming in from them. Lucidity, though, that's going to be her taking down Dumpling. And the counter Viper Pit has been invested as well. We saw how this played out the last time it was here. So again, it seems like they're gonna be noping out of there with the rotation coming back towards B. 50 seconds left on the clock here, and it's going to be Ratatouille, so who has to hold down the fort. She is going to be the first source of information if a rotation does come through, and she is watching the cross, so if she can get a kill or at least stay alive, it might be all the difference maker here as she watches this mid angle here as they try to push through. And yep, she's going to spot one, but has to fall back, forced off the angle here, and the rest of the team is going to make their way into kitchen through B. Shabby, though, she is taking a long way around the scenic route, I would say, through spawn. That trademark is going to give away information as well. There are players in the kitchen here. Elaine taking the Ratatouille's, a really nice late lurk here, doing a lot of damage. And it seems like the spike should go down without much further ado. You know that line, right? Where did this take you? But just back to me in my hands. That's exactly what happens. It is the B site again after all that rotation. And it's just Afterglow. 1v4, gets one. Does have the Viper Spit. But she's going to be hit by that vulnerability from the Snake Bite. Has to find 3 more, clock ticking as well during this time. And I love how Sovereign is playing this. They're not really giving anything away here. Does take down the second player as well. Spike planted in a kind of awkward spot here. Tries to go in for the diffuse, tries to stick it, but the Hunter's Fury, she manages to bait it out. Lucidity cleaning things up. And 7-5 is gonna be the first half.
Yeah, I mean,
Switching
Sovereign,
sides.
they bounce right back off of, well, Thirst Red's trial. I mean, you said it right there, 5-5 when the scoreline was right there. Thirst Reds really had to secure the round to deny those couple of rounds coming up next from Sovereign. But when they secured it, it really wasn't much wasn't much for Thirst Reds to bank on. So now the script has been flipped, and it's Sovereign on the 7-5 scoreline. And it really, at this point, it's just a mental game between these two teams. Thirst Reds, they've had a phenomenal first game. Yes, game number 2 was okay for them, but now Sovereign is just taking over the momentum of the series.
Yeah, I mean, if they can win the pistol, they will definitely have huge momentum going in their favor. But the thing you need to consider is that they did have a little bit of an advantage because they did have those double duelists on attack here. Definitely both Joy and of course Lucidity showing off hugely for the team. And the thing is, what can they do on defense? Because they don't really have a chamber who can give information as to halls. They'll probably have to
Mhm.
invest the sage wall there, or at least have a player constantly playing towards mid to try and weed it out. So that's going to be one less player who can rotate quickly onto site. So definitely something that might make a huge difference going in on defense here. You never know though. Sovereign has surprised us plenty before, and this is the sheer contrast. Like I think Lucidity on the first map had 5 kills, if I'm not wrong. Second map she dropped a 40 bomb, so it doesn't seem like she's slowing down anytime soon today.
Yeah.
Looking at the first half of this game, so terrifying.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? No matter how right Thirst Red seem to play their cards, Lucidity seems to just counter it all out single-handedly. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of these strats being brought out on the attack here for Thirst Reds, but Lucidity, like for example, in that round where they pushed up in a main right after the timeout, it worked out pretty good for them until they rotated down into B, where Lucidity just mowed all 3 members down, and from there on, there really just wasn't any answer back from Thirst Red. So that's really is the key for them. Just shut down Lucidity to make their plans work.
Yeah, it's the opposite of the Lucidity go kill strat. Go kill Lucidity.
Go for Lucidity. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Anyway, though, we're gonna be heading into the second half of this extremely tormenting matchup where both these teams are completely unwilling to give up, I would say. And looking at where Thirst Reds want to go, it seems like they are going to be going in for a possible B hit. And look at where the players from Sovereign are playing. Nobody
Wow,
wants to
they
play the
read
B
it.
side. Everybody, it seems like they've forgotten about it. Everybody's just vibing towards mid or A, and finally the rotation comes through. But I think that in fact it might even be good timing because the side of Thirsters is trying to clear out everything methodically. They still do have that B side, but they just left it open for retake. What a play coming in from them. In the meantime, look at Shabby. She's just playing the distraction, making sure that if anybody decides to come backstab, they're going down there. And yeah, it seems like they do want to go towards the B side after Glow and Shabby both making their way towards mid, trying to catch our rotations and also trying to keep some map control here. Hopefully, as soon as this Viper's wall is back available again, they will be able to get the spike down here because I think that's what they're waiting for. Yep, the wall goes back. This other wall goes up too, and the spike is on B side. The retake is on.
Spike
I
planted.
don't know about the strat where Sovereign just leaves B open for retake, Matt.
Well, they are a pretty aggressive team, so does kind of make a lot of sense, especially with their double duelist comp.
no.
But Ratatouille's with the nasty flick against 2. She gets 2, and on top of it, she gets Lucidity as well. So really, that's one of the biggest factors for Sovereign here. That's out for the count. Joey picks up Wee Wee in response, but they're just buying this time for the defuse, and they got it! Shabby pushing up from behind. It's a little bit too late. They clean up the members of Sovereign, but they already ran away with the round. They're pretty happy with that outcome.
How did she just stick it? Elaine, she doesn't care. She just
Yeah.
puts down her poison orb and she's just like, yeah, you guys keep him distracted. They're not going to expect me to just stick it. Nobody expects you to just stick it, but that's exactly what happens. You've heard it before, pros don't fake. You see it again. Every time it happens, people are shocked. but it still keeps happening. So yeah, either way, that is going to be the sore advantage, which is the side of Sovereign needed to build the momentum up in their favor. They do have that buy coming in as well right now. 5 Spectres on the board here, and it seems like they can do quite a bit of damage. Look at the position of the Jet though. Lucidity
Oh.
already aggressing towards uh Nest here, holding that position, but unfortunately for her, nobody seems to want to come to the A site. Everybody is just going towards B again because I think they've read that it's going to be a little bit of a free site here as they make their way forward, just pushing through. And Lucidity seems like she might actually go on the flank soon if she's a little bit more patient. In the meantime, though, it seems like the B site is up for grabs yet again. So at least they'll get some of the monies from the spike plots here.
Oh, they're getting pushed up from B. Not really having any information on where any of the members of Sovereign are. First one to fall is going to be Dumpling, but
Oh
they've
no!
already aggressed so far into the backside of things. They've already made their way into the defender side spawn where they're being pushed up by Ray from Kitchen. What is the plan here for TST? I'm not even sure. They've corralled that
30
spike
seconds left.
into their defender side spawn, and now that's gonna leave Afterglow just gasping for air.
I have
She's gonna
two
be
words:
yeah, what?
Defender cosplay.
Afterglow is like, well, what do I do now? Okay, she's gonna spot out Lucidity. Be walking off with half health still. And there you go. Chet goes the round. Sovereign, decisive 4-round advantage. This is the most they've had, I believe, in this whole series. And
Oh yeah, unless you
what
count
a
the
way to
opposite
turn
side.
things around. Yeah, what a way to turn things around.
Definitely, and it just shows it's a testament to the sheer mental they had because, like, I don't know, if you once you lose 13-2, it takes a special something to keep it going. And even then, they took it to OT, and now it seems like they're finally on the right foot here, pushing forward. This is the bonus, but if they can manage this, if they can win this, it's gonna break the side of Thirst Threads apart.
That's a big if here, considering just how much momentum Sovereign has had so far. Lucidity, though, getting pummeled, biting a little bit more than she could chew. And Ray actually gets pummeled by the utility. She is reconned out straight into the heavens. 3 versus 5 now as 2 of the members of Sovereign's defense have already fallen down. Plant now coming in, Dumpling. Can they go for the same shenanigans the last time in the pistol round where Elaine just tucked the defuse? I'm not particularly sure because they're struggling to just inch forward. Actually, we got the Toolies right here. Nasty flick onto Chet, gets traded out by Joey. So that's the overheal coming in. One more kill and she can have the Empress activated. Elaine struggling to inch forward. Doesn't have the wall anymore. Joey falling down means there is no Empress to work with. And Elaine's just gonna look for the damage. Will be denied by anything more, and Wee secure the round 6-9. Nice.
Nice. Anyway, though, we are gonna be heading. I think it was almost a flawless as well. Only Ratatouille did get taken down, so there are gonna be still 4 rifles available for the side of Team TST here, and definitely the momentum that they really needed here. If they can pull off this next round as well, they will have a little bit of an advantage. But the thing is, they have to contend with Lucidity on the operator. Now, I know the last time we saw her breeze with an operator, she wasn't that great. But it was only one time, and this is only the second time that they've had enough money to buy. But Ratatouille's with that very crazy shot onto Ray's head there. Nobody was expecting it, at least well, poor Ray just gets her head chopped off there by that Blade Storm. And with that, I think it's going to be a very straightforward execute towards the B side.
I need to wash my hands. Hold up. That was dirt from Ratatouille's. I mean, of course she's not done. Of course she's gonna look for more. She's gonna push up against this Viper Spit, but the wall! Dumpling! Oh no! She doesn't get the wall quite off, and that just might signal the fall of the round for TST. That singular mistake is going to cost them this entire round. Not if Wee can scramble up this 1 versus 2, but I doubt that she can. She doesn't have the time. Nay the position! And oh no!
Oh no,
Fell apart.
This shot, I'm glad we get to see it again because that's just absolutely a delete coming through. But the Viper Wall fails at the worst time possible, man. Oh no! If they lose this match, this is the round that's gonna keep them awake for the next few days. I can guarantee you that.
I
I
mean,
feel really
dumpling
sad,
especially.
but it's good that
Eh,
Sovereign made them pay for it. It's gonna be double digits on the board for them right now. And while the side of their strength still do have enough for a buy, it's the last chance they have for a buy, so they might
Yeah.
really want to capitalize on it. Shabby again watching mid while Ratatouille aggresses super fast towards the B side. I guess that they've decided that it's going to be just yellow that they have to take control of, and yep, Lucidity is going to be there. The first big fight is going to be Jet versus Che, or Lucidity versus Ratatouille here. Already making her way forward. She has to clear this. Angelo gets the flick, but Che 2 is there for the trade. Afterglow getting that kill as well. It's going to be a 3v3 right now, but Shabby, she's going to be caught off guard. That's a pivotal kill. That's a lurk out of the way, and it's going to be just 2v3. One away from the rest, so if Che can get a kill, it can be just 2v4 or 1v4, in fact.
Yeah. And Lucidity is just around the corner from Che. So perhaps if she can get a kill, they're getting their star player back up. But Elaine, holding to hold the line, she picks up Afterglow. The recon is going to reveal Wee Wee's exact positioning. She's gonna go for the peak, a crawling one at that. But Ray Ray, she's gonna be ready for that slow walk. 11-6, and well, Thirst Reds. They've had a phenomenal run so far, but they finally met their match here.
I think they've bet more than their match looking at the
Yeah.
score here. And
Yeah.
yeah, Sovereign really digging in deep to make sure that they keep this going. It's gonna be an eco for Thirst Red right now. They don't even have the Blade Storm or the Tour de Force to play with, which is gonna make things even more rough here. I'm sorry, it's gonna be the Blade Storm coming in from Lucidity. In fact, it's gonna take down Dumpling. Not many more blade set, but she's done the damage. That's a resurrection offline as well, so that's gonna make things even more tough for the side of Thirst Reds. Like, they already aren't challenging enough. Going for an eco on 6-11, that's really brave of them. I mean, of course, they just want to play for overtime from what I can see.
Oh, Ray finding that more damage. Joey on the Empress, looking to get as much done as possible in this round. She has noted two of their positions. Arcane Sheriff will not really find its mark on the zap. But down to a 3 versus 3 here, so essentially doable for TSD now. If they pick up these guns, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier, especially because everyone from Sovereign seems to want to push up. So I'm gonna start with Ray Ray's first contact with Shabby. Well, whoever gets his first kill is of absolute importance. It's gonna give the gun, or gonna give the
30
manpower
seconds left.
advantage for Sovereign. Ray Ray playing it right, but does she get the shots quite off? She gets one. Wee Wee picks up the trade, so that's an upgrade going their way. And now it's doable for the 2 versus 2 for TSD.
They put up the wall and they're heading towards the A side. I don't know if they expect
10
Elaine to
seconds
be
left.
where she is still. Just for all she has to do is stop the plants. The plants is not gonna go down. Oh, never mind. Afterglow gets it, and she has enough time to
Do they have
plant.
time?
That is absolutely
Yes.
insane coming in from her. That shot, but the resurrection is still available, and yep, she runs all the way back for Lucidity. She's like, yeah, I know I have teammates close by, but listen, it's Lucidity. Forgive me for it. Either way, though, it's gonna be 2v2 right now as they make their way, trying to clear these corners out. And the Jet Smoke is gonna give away the position of at least one player. Lucidity will spot out Wee Wee here, and it seems like it's gonna be a prolonged battle as they go
One
back and
enemy
forth,
remaining.
weaving around. Che2
Last
though will
player
take her down.
standing.
Afterglow getting the trade. It's gonna be a 1v1 right now, and Lucidity, she's gonna tap the
Lucidity.
spike and
Oh,
just
no.
wait for it, but she doesn't expect the position here. The clock is still ticking. Afterglow knows that it's not making, but oh, the timing! Afterglow plays that to perfection, and with that 3k Thrifty, it's gonna be Team TST taking the round here. That was so beautiful coming in from them, especially that kill onto Elaine there. If Elaine had just been a little bit more late, you know, she could have stopped the plants going through entirely.
Yeah.
But beautifully played by Afterglow.
3k and the icing on top of that cake. And well,
In we go.
you mentioned it earlier. It was a bold call to go for the eco at the 11 score line, but hey, they make it work, TST. Maybe they should just go for the ecos every time. Of course, Shabby's tour de force is an exception to that. Always so consistent on the first touch. Lucidity, though. Got the aggressive nerve, but not really the kills to back it up with. But it is SVR's time in the chopping block, as they are the ones with only the sheriffs to work with, and that kill onto Elaine is gonna signal the
Player
rotate for
standing.
Chet and Joey, who are the last two standings. Make the Chet the last one. As healing herself up back
Spike
to
planted.
around 70 health. But I doubt that there's much else she could do here apart from maybe get a single frag after glow. Okay! Spots on ahead. But yeah, that's the round going the way of TST, who will be securing
Oh!
7 to 11. 2 HP left. Chet. Hold up. Is this doable? No way, right?
Excuse me, ma'am. I think that's an illegal shot here. Oh, the recon bolt will spot her out though at the last second. Like you said, 2 HP.
Yeah, there you go.
She did the damage for what it's worth. The second flick especially was extremely impressive. I feel bad. I feel bad for Shabby there. I think she just got snapped out of existence. That flick was absolutely dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Last player.
There we go as well. Looking for a little bit more damage. Actually found... Oh, see that shot again. But still, the fact of the matter is, no matter how much damage was done in that round, they still got enough creds for the full buy Thirst Reds, and Sovereign's still one away from match point, and this time there is no res. There's just Hunter's Fury to work with for them. Meanwhile, for Thirst Reds, they've got 3 huge ults on top of the Viper's Pit. So, this timeout is of perfect timing for Sovereign. They really have to stop this momentum from Thirst Red, and they have to capitalize on this match point proximity now, because, well, after this, they're not really gonna get another chance unless they go into overtime.
Yeah, there's a very big chance for overtime coming through if you know if they do manage to win this shot. And it's all this is one of the most pivotal rounds in the game, I would say, because there's Shred. If they win it, they have a really good chance at taking it even 13-11. Forget overtime. They have the momentum right now. They also do have the firepower. And Shabi, she's debating whether to go in for that operator or that vandal. She decides to stick with the vandal, which again it might come to whether she can hit the shot or not. Neither side having an operator in play. It just seems like they're gonna be going in for a relatively straightforward A push. I say relatively because we've seen how complicated some of these pushes can get from the side of their
Yeah.
Shred here. Ratatouille is methodically clearing out each angle one by one. Does have that dash go offline at a very unfortunate time without even having used it. So it's gonna make getting a little bit of space even more difficult. And yep, they are just gonna head towards that A side. A good read coming in from the side of team SVR here, but oh no, pulls out the smoke at the wrong time. That cloudburst is going to be paid for in blood as Elaine takes her down. And I think after that, it's gonna be really difficult to get into this A site here. In the meantime, it's going to be Chamber who is watching the flank. Shabby making sure that nobody is coming through and might be able to catch Lucidity's head here if Lucidity decides to peek out. But this doesn't seem to be the case. Both of these teams playing so patiently, and the advantage goes towards the side of Team Sovereign because all they have to do is wait out the clock.
Mm-hmm. And this is a
30
3-stack down
seconds
A as
left.
well, so really, there's no choice for Thirst Red but to push down in that exact location. But this position from Lucidity is of absolute importance. Shabby, you've got to check this corner! And she doesn't!
No.
Free kill for Lucidity there, but the site
enemy
isn't as free
remaining.
as they hoped it would!
Spike
Sovereign's
down.
still here!
Left.
Can they even get the plant off? No, they can't! And that's the 12th round for Sovereign. Oh, they took up way too much time
Match
getting
point.
nothing out of it. And now Sovereign is at match point.
They really needed that round, and you know their Shreds, they didn't get it, so it's going to be an uphill climb, 4 rounds to even possibly take this to OT. It can be done. The question is, will it be done? And if the side of if Ratatouille and Shabby can get back into the form they had going into the first 2 games, it might be possible, but seems like they've given all they've got. And it's Afterglow, in fact, who's stepping up on this map. They do have the Viper's Pit to work, but in fact, they have three ultimates. They have the Viper's Pit, the
No.
Hunter's Fury, and the Resurrection here. So they can definitely be able to play off that and do something. But Ray Ray, in the meantime, is going to be investing her Hunter's Fury instead. Not going to do much, though. And Joy already getting one kill. The Resurrection coming through as well. So Lucidity, this is the right time for her to peek. Gets one, but takes a lot of damage. Trade will possibly come through as Shabby does take her down. Make that a 3v3, but Ray, she's not gonna, not if Ray has anything to say about it. She gets one, pops out her drone as well. It's gonna spot both these players. It's gonna come down to Ratatouille's. We've seen her in these situations before, but J2 gets that headshot off that barrier orb. What a comeback for the side of Team Sovereign here. Losing that first map so badly, but digging in deep to take it to OT and win the second. And finally on Icebox, closing it out here. A phenomenal performance coming in from them. And of course, it's not just Lucidity, of course, but if you have to pick one player that changed so many rounds single-handedly, it has to be Lucidity.
Absolutely agree with you there. But what was the score in the first game again, Zach? Remind 13 to 2? 13 to 2, 17-15, and then 13 to 8. I mean, 13-7. Yeah, it's just an absolute flip of the script if I ever saw one here. The reverse sweep for the scoreline. Let's take a look at the scoreline here on the last map of the day here. Icebox, such a fitting end to this very action-packed day. It's actually Afterglow that came up huge in this game. 20 kills, Elaine. Right up there with her. 21 kills as well. Combat score almost equal between these two Vipers. And, well, it's really just... in this game, I feel like it's more of a team effort, right? It's not just Lucidity over and over again taking the stage by storm. It's the entire team from Sovereign that took the stage by storm, and they absolutely were just a better team in that last game for against Thirst Red. I mean, you gotta question what that first game was. Was it a fluke, or was it that the Thirst Red just got exhausted? I'm not even sure, but at the end of it, you can absolutely see that Sovereign just was the superior performer.
Yeah, especially, you know, I like the last map was Icebox because it's such a fitting get, seeing that they managed to completely freeze and throw the side of Team Thirst Shreds into the morgue there. They put them on ice. Anyway, though, it is going to be an overall wonderful team performance coming in for the side of Sovereign. Really well-deserved win for them after those overtimes. And, of course, on Icebox, the plays coming in. And Thirst Shreds, it's not over for them yet. I think they do have the lower bracket run possible, so we can't count them out. Definitely, they've proved that they are a team to contend with in this matchup, and hopefully soon we do see them coming back into action. But in the meantime, our MVP for the day is, drumroll, no surprises there, it's gonna be Lucidity, who absolutely popped off. Average damage around 158. So I think while these stats don't exactly look really impressive, like, yeah, 232 is impressive, but what's more impressive is their ability to single-handedly like flip the script and change the momentum of the game there.
I mean, if I had to find a analogy for Lucidity, she's like Moses. She opened up the sea she parted the sea with her bare hands. She just was a force to be reckoned with, undoubtedly. I mean, even though the scoreboard doesn't, even though the ACS isolation doesn't really reflect it on that board, her performance towards this entire series is really what pivoted the way for Sovereign. It's the round where she came up massive is essentially where things became things went downhill for TST, and there's just no doubt about it. It's a beautiful job.
Yeah, it was. I think that wall from that sage going up, Dumpling, not leaving enough space to plant the spike is gonna haunt them for at least a few nights, if not just tonight. It's gonna haunt me.
It. Me too, for sure. But yeah, that's it, folks, for our day 1 of Game Changers APAC Stage 1 Open 4. We have our 4 teams advancing into the next stage, and well, thank you guys for watching. Let's I think that's it. If I haven't forgotten anything, Zach.
I think we do have to take a look at the brackets before
Mm.
we head out for
Brackets. I'm
the day.
sorry.
It's been a long day, Matt. I completely
I'm
feel you.
sorry.
I
I'm
understand
sorry.
quite well. So looking at it so far, it's been a very, very hard fought battle for four teams here. Bren and SMG, all 2-1s, and of course our own matchup here, Sovereign and Thirst Reds. They will be moving on here, and it's going to be the lower bracket though, which is going to be really interesting because it's going to be Thirst Reds versus OG and Aresta versus SMG. So both of these teams, we saw them today. Hopefully, they will be performing
Mhm.
better in their next matches, and it's not over for them yet. You know, their Reds, even if they didn't manage to pull it off today, they have another shot to try and make it to elite here. So I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for it too. And do catch us again, folks. But for now, this is us, Datum and Zach, who will be saying good night. Thanks for joining us today in day one. This is just day one of the playoffs. There's more to come up until June 5. But
Oh God.
until tomorrow, we'll just sign off for now. Thanks for tuning in. And if you're just tuning in, we're ending the broadcast. Sorry. My name is Datum, casting here today with Zach. See you guys in the next installment of Open 4 Game Changers APAC.
See you guys.